All right, sounds good.
Welcome to Shields Arena at Sanford Athletic Park, home of your Fargo Force and the best fans in the USHL. The holder of a Fargo Force hockey ticket assumes all risks and dangers incidental to the game of hockey, including the risk of being injured by a hockey puck or stick, and agrees that Shields Arena, the Fargo Force, its agents and players, are not liable for injuries relating from such causes, and by attending this event, waives any claim against all parties. Please, fans, watch for flying pucks. Shields Arena is committed to the health and safety of our guests and employees and is a non-smoking facility. Guests are not permitted to smoke inside Shields Arena, nor are guests allowed to exit and re-enter for the purpose of smoking. The policies outlined above apply to electronic cigarettes, smokeless cigarettes, and/or vapor cigarettes, as well as traditional cigarettes. Violators may be subject to removal from the facility and/or denied admittance into the facility. Basic first aid is available at all 4 concession stands as well as at guest services by the main entrance. Shields Arena and the Fargo Force promote good sportsmanship by athletes, coaches, and spectators. We ask for your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or any other intimidating action directed at officials, athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site, and, if needed, additional disciplinary actions will be taken. Shields Arena asks that for your safety and the courtesy of others, please wait for a break in action before returning to your seat. If there are any concerns that may arise during the game, please report it to your section's or guest services so that the
do you want to wait for the Twins to finish
Thank
then?
you, and enjoy the game.
Or how do you want to do that?
Do you need time to pass?
Oh, okay, yeah. Is there? They have one more break? Because I've got a radio underneath. I've listened to it. Yeah, and they're still. The Twins are still. Going. Okay. Do you know? Like, I suppose it doesn't show in there. Like if they have, like because I don't know like how many breaks they have left. They got to be close to the end, I would think. So, or will it? Or does it pop up? Does it pop up? Okay, man. Okay, sounds fine. Like I said, if it's, yeah, as long as we're done before, it should be done before puck drops. So we can tighten it up a little bit if we have to. And like I said, we've got enough time to make up breaks over the course of the game, so I'm not too concerned about that yet. So.
So what?
So what if we can just not? Okay.
What if none of our friends get hurt in the crash? What if we're all alive at graduation?
What if we got the whole team?
Because no one's out for getting busted.
What if our generation
Does better.
What if we're gonna be okay?
We're gonna be okay.
So I wonder if they must take one more break after this. They're into the post-game comments.
Drivers leave them alone, unwashed, with full tanks. These drivers are
Okay.
starting at $26 a month. MapBus, a place for everyone.
Don't hear anything yet.
At mapbus.com.
Weather in the valley can be unpredictable, from straight line winds to crazy downpours and big temperature swings. You get the full effect of everything Mother Nature throws at us. That's why it's important to get the forecast right. Count on it with a Valley News Live First Alert weather. Download for weather alerts, customized for where you are and where you're going, with hour-by-hour forecasting and storm tracking right down to your street. Get a forecast you can rely on. Connect with the First Alert Storm Team on the BNL Weather.
I'm ready, so just whenever you're ready to pull the pin. Well, you can check one on the box. The Fargo Force did that last night, winning Game 1 of the 2024 Clark Cup Finals in the Best of 5 Championship Series. The Anderson Cup champions, the champions from the West, checked the box with a 3-1 win last night, beating the Dubuque Fighting Saints. A fast start. It turned into a tight finish, but Fargo starting early offensively, defensively, led by Hampton Slukinski, and got some help on the back end as well, killing off a couple of penalties late, a little over 3 minutes of consecutive power play time, about 3 minutes and 19 seconds to be exact. The empty netter from Max Swanson put a nice little bow on this one as Fargo wins their first Clark Cup championship game on home ice in 6 years. Now they're trying to crack Game 2. The Force have had trouble in Game 2s of 5-game series. You have to go back to the conference finals in 2018 when they won Game 2 at Waterloo on their way to a 3-1 series win. Game 2 has kind of been a bugaboo, and you know, with the quality of team that Dubuque has, a lot of big scores. They played, I think, a renewed effort late in the second. I thought the goal they got late in the second period to make it 2-1 jump-started them a little bit, but Fargo had to hold off that extended power play of a little over 3 minutes late in the game. Then they pulled goaltender Kevin Radler with about 2:45 to go in the game. It was a little over 2.5 minutes left. Fargo was able to hold off some pretty good pressure there late from the Fighting Saints. Got a couple of big clears. Swoboda with a great play defensively, and could have taken the empty net goal himself. Instead found Max Swanson, and the player of the year in the USHL finished off a 2-point night. He and Swoboda with 2-point nights, and Fargo a 3-1 win. The Force outshot Dubuque 31-23, and at times a physical game, but overall pretty well played. Never really crossed that line too much from physical to cheap, although there was one hit last night that will cost a suspension. Teddy Merrill, who's up on the leaderboard penalty minutes for Dubuque this year and one of the top of the USHL. Merrill, a hit on Tom Leppa in the first period, and Leppa was shaken up, but talking with head coach Brett Skinner, and you'll hear some comments about Tom Leppa from the head man of the Fargo Force, that he is going to give it a try. He was out for pregame warm-ups and skate. He has passed the concussion protocol. We'll see how much he plays tonight, but that hit drawing Merrill a 1-game suspension. So that will change things a little bit on the line here for the Dubuque Fighting Saints compared to what we saw in Game 1 last night. Nick Romeo will be an extra forward. They'll move up Andrew King. He'll center a line with Josh Giuliani and Colin Frank. Still to come here in our pregame report, we will visit with the head coach of the Fargo Force, Brett Skinner, in just a battle of a game last night to shut down this Dubuque squad, a team, and we talk about the Force and their offensive prowess. Dubuque can match that, and they have never, with the exception maybe of one game of the postseason where they got 6 on Youngstown, it's been a lot of 3-4 goal efforts, and 3-1. Fargo won a pair of 3-1 games against Tri-City in their opening series of the playoffs. Another 3-1 win over Sioux City earlier in the postseason as well. 3-1, and I don't know if you're going to be able to slow this Dubuque offense down too many times, but Game 2 is critical. Fargo, in 5-game series, we mentioned the last time that they won Game 2 in a 5-game series, you have to go back to the Western Conference Final in 2018 when they beat Waterloo, and then won 3 and 4 here on home ice to get to the Clark Cup Championship. 2018 lost Game 2 in overtime in the Clark Cup Final to Youngstown. 2019 got beat in the first round in a best-of-3. No playoffs in 2020. 2021 lost Game 2 in Chicago to the Clark Cup Finals to the Chicago Steel. The Steel won 3 and 4 here in Fargo to take the championship. 22 got beat in the first round in a best-of-3. Then you go to last year in the 2 5-game series. They lost Game 2 at home to Lincoln and Game 2 in overtime to Youngstown. So Game 2 has been the bugaboo. If they could do that, if they could check the box and go up 2-0, heading to Dubuque with a chance to clinch, and would have potentially 2 chances to clinch in Dubuque next weekend. Advantage Force, but the Fighting Saints aren't going to go and go away that quickly or that easily. We'll take a timeout. We'll visit with the head coach of the Force, Brett Skinner, our starting lines, and much more just ahead of opening puck drop at around 6:05 tonight. Crowd filling in nicely. We'll see if we get the crowd. Might be a little bit lighter than 4,300, but still a good house expected. It's a beautiful day outside. We're going to come inside here and see if the Force can crack the code on Game 2 in the Clark Cup Championship. Thomas Fox back at our studios. I'm Brad Anderson. We'll visit with the head coach of the Fargo Force, Brett Skinner, in 2 minutes on 104.7 KFGO FM and FloHockey. Oh, appreciate that. Good job. Oh, gotcha.
Fargo's up 1-0 here in the Clark Cup Finals as Game 2 tonight here at Shields Arena with the head coach, Brett Skinner. And just two very good teams battling it out. Big start early for you guys. Kill off a little over 3 minutes of penalty time in the late in the game, and just all in all, just what you would expect in a game at this level, this magnitude, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think it was as advertised, with two very good teams just slugging it out there. And I think probably the one thing everyone was talking about, the offense, but how tight it was, how contested the ice was, how hard it was to get to spaces. So you sit back and watch it. It's fun to watch, but obviously a challenge going up against a team like that.
Did you feel early on they wanted to come out and maybe be physical on you guys, and that maybe that course, that plan had to change a little bit once you got the 2-0 lead? And you talked about neither team being able to establish a whole lot of puck position and time in the offensive zone. Just the play that Leo made to get the scoring started there, just the stick handle and perfectly placed shot. I mean, top left corner over the goaltender. I mean, that's a high-level play.
Yeah, I think with the physicality, I think you're going to get that from every team in junior hockey, but especially this time of year, that's something you see all year long, and it's just going to be emphasized more once you get into the playoffs. Certainly, I think we've seen it a ton in the playoffs already with other opponents we've had, and with Leo's goal, yeah, I mean, obviously, nice rush reading the space and the high ice, and then being able to use their defenseman as a screen. We're going to have to either get to the goalie's eyes or shoot through screens to beat this kid, because he's playing at a high level right now. Like you said, perfectly placed shot. That might be what it takes, and obviously Leo was talented enough to find it on that occasion.
Their speed, obviously, a concern, and they've got a lot of snipers. How'd you feel you handled that last night?
I mean, obviously they're gonna generate their chances and their rush opportunities. Fine, good, work in progress. Obviously, just a continued battle for us where they're so talented. I don't think the goal is to completely eliminate chances that they create. You're just trying to control them and do the best you can. But obviously they're going to make plays, and you have to be okay with that at times.
He handled, we talked about earlier, a little over 3 minutes power play time late in the game, and then of course they pulled the goalie with about 2:40 to go too. You know, Hampton makes plays. I don't see him ever panic or never basically try and do too much with the puck, and knowing that he had a lot of help too. I mean, it's not just the goaltender; it's those guys in front of him clearing pucks out and preventing sometimes second and third chances.
Yeah, it was definitely a collective group effort. You could feel the energy on the bench. You felt like anyone you put out there would have, dove in front of a puck to keep it out in that instance. And the guys on the ice, including Hampton, certainly got the job done. And that's how you win hockey games. You're at this time of year, you're going to face different challenges like that, and it's a unique situation given the time of year to be put in that situation. But obviously, for our guys to come out with keeping the puck out of the net, and then being able to make a hard play to get the puck into the open net there too, to kind of get that 2-goal lead. It was honestly, pretty incredible to watch the guys, sacrifice their bodies and do what it takes to get the job done in that moment.
Tom Lepa took a hit in the first period. His status for tonight?
He's gonna try to go here. He obviously went through the concussion protocols. He had. It was elbow to the head. The kid got suspended. He's down, and then but he goes through all the protocols, and he's cleared to play. How he feels might be a different story, or how much he plays.
All right, I can do it. Okay, I can do it live. Oh. Starting lineups being introduced right now. Fargo will start per usual. Gavin Morrissey will be in a line centering Max Swanson, the Player of the Year in the United States Hockey League, and Lee Parks. Raisin Bozer and Michael Quinn on defense, and Hampton Slukinski 7-2 in the postseason. Goals against average 1.46, 93.6% save percentage. For the Dubuque Fighting Saints, they will start with the line of Jake Sondriel, Boston College product out of Woodbury, Minnesota. He'll center James Reeder and Noah Powell. On defense, Yona Väisänen got his first postseason goal last night. He'll join Fisher Scott to start out on defense for the Fighting Saints. And Kevin Radler, 6-2, 94.8% save percentage. Goals against average 1.32 and 3 shutouts on the season. It's our national anthem coming up next. The opening face-off. It's the Force and the Dubuque Fighting Saints. Game 2 of the Clark Cup final, as we'll be back with the opening puck drop, and we'll get this one underway in 60 seconds on KFGO FM and FloHockey. Worked out good. Worked out good. It is filled up nicely again here at Shields Arena. Another great crowd, and well, there's a potential for one more home game here. Pretty potential for Game 5, but this is it. It has been a Force Nation has just come out all season long, and it has been a historic season. 50 wins, a back-to-back championship in the Anderson Cup. It has been a fun ride, and whether this is the last home game or if we have one more on the 21st, either way, it has been a treat. Game 2 coming up. The rest of the lines here for Fargo. Zam Plant will center Michael Bastarza and Brandon Swoboda. Jake Fisher will center Eero Hakkarainen and Harper Bentz. Tom Leppa will give it a go. He was out for pregame warm-ups, and Leppa is on the bench here for Fargo. He'll be joined by Merrill Stenari and Reed Davitella. Peter Cesar, the extra forward. Michael Newmeyer and Leo Gruba back on defense. Gruba, defenseman of the year in the USHL. Taylor, Finn McLaughlin, and Eddie Reveting with Slukinski in net. A little bit of change in the lines for Dubuque. Eric Paulson and Uri Pekarchik, I should say. He's on the left wing. Beckett Hendrickson, the son of Wild assistant coach, former NHLer Darby Hendrickson. Here's Dubuque with it as Sondriel, another sniper, who played for Boston College, 69 points in the regular season. Reeder, deflected by Lee Parks, kept in the zone, getting to it. Sondriel near corner, centering feed, just missed with Noah Powell. As Powell on that line with Sondriel and Reeder, carried out by Fargo, 2-on-2. Morrissey into the zone for Parks, quick feed, gathered in. Here's a shot by Quinn, high and wide. Just missed the net as Parks fires it back behind the net. Bouncing puck and buys it into play it for the Fighting Saints. Avoid the hit from Max Swanson. The puck goes all the way down as Quinn. Loose puck behind the net, but Powell centering feed. Broken up, comes back to the point. Jaden Jubenville keeps it in at the right point. He's checked, comes free. Out of the corner with it. Feed is broken up by Jubenville. And a battle with it, Newmeyer. Taken out by Fargo. Swoboda trying to grab it on the run, and it poked away. As right off the bench, Listarza. Fargo went into a line change. He tried to carry it into the zone and got denied by Jubenville. Loose puck at neutral ice. And Plant carries it in. Here's Swoboda, drops it for Plant. Plant, a shot, save made by Radler. Puck came through the slot, and Gruba trying to keep it in and can. Here's Paulson, breakout for Pekarchik. He could not get there. He had a breakout opportunity there, but the pass did not connect. Swoboda active here early. Dumps the puck in. Centering feed just missed out of the reach of Listarza. And here comes Paulson again. Paulson with a full head of steam. Drops it off. Here's Pekarchik. Feed went behind Hendrickson. Beckett Hendrickson picks it up. Comes back to the point. One-timer. Glove save. Slukinski. Luke Melvich just in off the bench. Just into the offensive zone. And a shot. And Hampton Slukinski comes up with a save. 18-16 to play in the first. And no score. So Gavin Cornforth moves down the line. He will be with Charlie Arendt and Michael Barron. With Teddy Merrill suspended, that moves Andrew King up to center the fourth line with Josh Giuliani and Colin Frank. And Nick Romeo will make his Clark Cup final appearance tonight as an extra forward. They'll run 4 lines and an extra forward. 7 on defense with Lucas St. Louis, Luke Malbuff, Seamus Powell, Jaden Jubenville, and Caleb Dick. Loose puck as back in Cornforth. Cornforth tied up with Taylor. That comes back up the wall. Taylor in a couple of different skirmishes last night, including one at the end. Puck comes near side. St. Louis, who had the game winner here back on November 3rd. We didn't really recap those regular season games. We'll do that in the intermission as Fargo will clear the puck and all the way down. Line change coming. Newmeyer, Bentz, Fisher, Quinn, and also out there Merrill Stenari. They've not seen Leppa as of yet. They will, as Brett Skinner said, he's dressed and ready to go, but they'll monitor how he feels. But he has cleared all concussion protocol. Puck deflected up into the netting and out of play. 17:24 to go in the opening period and no score. It's interesting. I didn't find this out till after the game last night. A lot going on this weekend in Fargo Moorhead. You have college graduation. NDSU graduated this weekend. Got a big high school girls softball tournament up on the north side. And everything else going on in town. Dubuque couldn't get at least enough hotel rooms. They had to stay in Detroit Lakes. If you're not familiar, Detroit Lakes, Minnesota is about 45 miles to the east. They, like with Josh Starr, the play-by-play man of the Fighting Saints, said they were at the Holiday Inn in Detroit Lakes, which isn't a bad place to stay, but they could not find enough hotel rooms, at least in one hotel. They could all stay together in Fargo. So they had to stay 45 minutes away from the rink.
interesting. Here's Newmeyer. Just one of those weekends. Busy weekend at Fargo Moorhead. Here's Parks. Bouncing puck up ice as taken there by Jona Väisänen. Well, that lone goal last night. Giuliani had a 2-goal game in the Western Conference Final against Muskegon. Puck sent in deep. They avoid the icing call. King plays it, comes near side. Parks there for Fargo. It comes back up the wall. Morrissey shovels it through traffic. Now Newmeyer. Stick handling Newmeyer. Fires it in. Goaltender Radler comes out of the cage, makes the play. Stretch pass broken up by Leo Gruba at neutral ice. 3.5 minutes in game 2 before another fine crowd at Shields Arena. Puck sent in deep as Slukinski leaves it for D-man Tate Taylor. Gruba for Plant. Feeds Swoboda at center. Gets a stick on it. Puck into the Fargo offensive zone. Jaden Jubinville rings it around here to the near side. Plant to play it for Fargo. Comes back towards the end boards. And back up the wall and cleared out Sondriel. Quick feed out of the reach of Powell, and that'll be an icing call. 16:09 to go in the opening period. You can tell the pace. Dubuque has come out, and where last night maybe early on they wanted to maybe physical up Fargo. Now they want to try and outrun them at least from the early tabulation. 16:09 to play in the opening period. And no score. Series will move to Dubuque. Game 3 Friday night and Game 4, if necessary, Saturday. Both will be 7:05 face-offs. You'll hear it here, the entire series on FloHockey and 104.7 FM, KFGO. Shot blocked. Blocked that time. 100,000 watts of radiated power in the FM dial. If you're listening that route, we certainly appreciate it. Quinn comes free. There's Tom Leppa out of the ice. Lead feet. Stanari trying to get to it. Caleb Dick beats him to the puck. Leppa after it. Leppa's such a key guy. Adds a little physicality. Can use him on the penalty kill, and he's a grinder out there. Sent along into the offensive zone, handled by Michael Quinn. Backhands it out as Noah Powell tried to play it. I think the puck was played with a high stick. 15:35 to play in the first. And let's see where the faceoff will end up. Yeah, it's going to be an offensive zone faceoff for Fargo. The puck was played with a high stick by Dubuque, so that will give Fargo offensive zone face-off. Gruba, Newmeyer, Parks, Morrissey, and Swanson out there. And without Leppa last night, they did kind of mix and match a little bit. We saw Morrissey sometime in with Lestarza and Swoboda. They move Fisher up. Again, as deep as they are, they can move the puzzle pieces around, and sometimes you don't notice. Off the face-off, here's Gruba. We try to notice because that's our job. To the near side, here's Parks. Parks back up the wall as Pekarczyk tried to knock it free. Swanson. Here's Parks in right circle. His shot got broken up and ended up wide as he moved in on the goaltender to the right circle. Kept in by Swanson. Shot at tap block. Paulson carries it out as Paulson. Nice stick handling and offside. Looked like Pekarczyk and maybe Beckett Hendrickson got in ahead of the puck. 15:14 to play in the first. Yeah, Beckett Hendrickson is a 4th-round pick of the Boston Bruins, last year's draft. Also an intermission, they had the USHL draft, the Phase 1, the Futures draft, and then the Phase 2. Didn't get a chance to talk much about that last night, because with all the busyness with Clark Cup final week here in Fargo, you add that. It's been a busy week for General Manager Kerry Eads and the coaching staff as they start looking towards the future while still focused on the present. There's a shot fired high and wide from Scott from the point. Comes back to the right point. Scott gets it back. Pass out of the zone. Väisänen will have to retreat to center. They'll have to vacate the zone. Pass broken up. Here's Jake Fisher for Fargo for Hacker-Weinen. Hacker-Weinen dumps that puck in. Little over 5 minutes in. Shots on goal 2-1 in favor of Fargo. No score. Game 2 of the Clark Cup Finals. Romeo couldn't handle it. Taylor bats it to the near side at neutral ice. Scott after it. It's fired back in, but Taylor cuts it off. Now Brazen Bozer for Hacker-Weinen. Fires it. The official had to jump rope to get out of the way of that one. Here's Scott for Väisänen. Väisänen harassed by Brandon Swoboda. Near side, Pekarczyk stick handles. Another sniper at actually had 50 assists this year, 59 total points. Paulson down the right wing boards. Nice check by Bozer. Finished off that check. Paulson gets it back in the corner. Fought off that hit. Hendrickson back behind the net. Feed, bottom of the right circle. Sharp angle shot block carried out by Plant. 2-on-2 for Fargo. He has Swoboda with him. Zam Plant fumbled with the puck and taken off the play by Jubinville. Line change coming, looked like for Fargo, as Lestarza out there as Pekarczyk. Poke checked away by Quinn. Quinn slaps it back up near side Swoboda. Here's Seamus Powell, a shot, backhanded shot, and they score! Right off the rebound, Juraj Pekarczyk gets the goal. That is his third of the postseason, his 8th point, a rebound goal, and the Fighting Saints take a 1-0 lead. Shot from the point, and they backhand and scored. It's not like it hit metal, but it did go through. The overhead view, yep, right there. In and out of the goal in a flash. So 6-18 into period number 1. The rebound goal, Juraj Pekarczyk picks up his 3rd goal of the postseason. Seamus Powell should get an assist on that. And with the Fighting Saints, we talked about 6-0 and scoring first in the postseason. They'll try and make it 7-0 as they score first here. 1-0 in favor of Dubuque. And they have come out with a little bit extra tonight, knowing that this game 2 is critical. Tom Leppa now for Merrill Stenari. Feeds it up the ice. Davitella had a solid game last night, especially on that penalty kill late in the 3rd period. Here's King across the line. Drops it off. Giuliani can't get to it. Taken there by Reed Davitella. Davitella in front of the Fargo bench. Harassed by Giuliani. Puck comes free. Leppa trying to dump it in. Didn't get a lot on it, but quickly handled by the Fighting Saints. We'll get the scoring here momentarily as dumped into a line change come the Fighting Saints. Here's Swanson trying to break out for Parks. Pass to center. Broken up. Comes to Taylor. Broken up nicely. That time by Jake Sondriel. Sondriel had it caught between his skates. Races after it. Sondriel into the right circle. Toe drag. Shot save made Slukinski. Here's Lee Parks. Parks near side. Play goes to the near corner. Tied up with Reeder. Tate Taylor flips it high up off the glass. St. Louis able to keep it in. Parks at the half wall as play comes back to the near corner. Taylor for Gruba behind the net. Feed for Swanson, breaks free. Has Parks with him at the other end of the ice. He'll dump it, leaves direction, trying to get to it. Gets tied up. It's loose to the right circle. Claimed by Noah Powell. Pass intercepted at center by Quinn. He'll carry it back into the zone, and offside will be the call. Parks was trying to get out of the zone. In fact, he was trying to head to the bench to finish off a change and didn't get that opportunity. We'll pause. The goal from Pekarczyk giving the Fighting Saints the early lead. A little over 12 minutes to play in the opening periods. Dubuque 1, Fargo nothing. We're back in 60 on KFGO FM and FloHockey. One nothing in favor of the Fighting Saints as we come back. Fargo dumps that puck back in. Reeder the scoring. Pekarczyk from Seamus Powell and Eric Paulson to make it 1-0. Noah Powell flips that up. It stays in play high off the glass as the fans were ready to duck in section 108. Didn't have to. Puck back behind the net. Comes to the near corner. Comes back to Scott. Keeps it in left point. Takes a step in. Reeder. Broken up by Swoboda. Scott fell down and carried out by Michael Lestarza. Feed for Swoboda trying to settle down the puck and taken away there. Nicely done by Väisänen. Nice hit by Swoboda. In for Lestarza. He got tied up and carried out by Reeder for Dubuque. Meantime, Väisänen still down as Swoboda applied that hit. And now he is slow to get up. He heads to the bench. Shot from the right circle. Save made by Slukinski. Feed for Harper Betts. Betts will try and chase after it. Seamus Powell Gets shoved to the glass there by Harper Betts. Loose right circle, cleared out by the Fighting Saints. Newmeyer back to neutral ice. 11:05 to go in the first. The crowd trying to get themselves into the contest. Here's Newmeyer, and we'll have, I believe it will be offsides. It will be. 11 minutes to go in the first, 1-0. You heard some of the post-game comments, press conference last night from Coach Kirk McDonald. He made a comment and basically said that the atmosphere in here and the crowd and everything else was something they had not really had to deal with in the postseason. A little smaller and quieter crowds in Youngstown and Muskegon, so 4,300 strong did make a little difference last night. And something they weren't quite accustomed to in the postseason. Puck was nearly handled by Bentz, broken up as Aaron couldn't handle it. Had taken off his stick by Hakkarainen. Here's Gruba for Newmeyer. Feed. Hakkarainen gets a stick on it. And deep into the offensive zone. He'll head to the bench. Out comes Merrill Stenari for a shift. Pass intercepted. Giveaway. Davitella. Stenari. Stenari in left circle. Centering feed. Nobody home to get it. Taken out by Dubuque. Near side come the Fighting Saints. It is flipped into the backhand by Michael Barron as Newmeyer tied up there with Gavin Cornforth. Play goes to the far corner. Now back to the point it goes. There's a shot hard off the inboards. It comes to the near side. St. Louis will pick it up. He'll throw it on net. Save made by Hampton Slukinski. St. Louis over in the corner. Comes back to Paulson at the point. Pass to not connect with Cornforth. Stenari tries to sweep it out of the zone and finally handled by Cornforth, but they'll have to vacate the offensive zone. Down the left wing boards comes Paulson. Broken up by Tom Leppa. As Leppa comes away with it for Fargo. Lead feed. Stenari gets to it in the far corner. Tries to drop it back down the wall for Leppa. He gets tied up over in the near corner. 9:44 to play in the first. 1-0 Fighting Saints in game 2 of the Clark Cup final. Here's Bozer. Bozer plays it now for Tate Taylor. Morrissey and Swanson out there as they do a partial line change. And out comes Lee Parks as well. Brazen Bozer. All USHL. Third team selection this year. Back up the wall it goes. Here is Morrissey. Morrissey flips it back behind the net. Parks. To the far corner comes Max Swanson. Feed out of the zone. Taylor couldn't get to it. Tate will have to fire it back in. See if Fargo will change up. They'll change up on defense. Quinn and Newmeyer out for a shift. 9:05 to go here in the first period. Dubuque into the offensive zone. Pekarczyk feed from Paulson broken up. Now Hendrickson. Hendrickson behind the net. Feed in front. Did not connect. Pekarczyk circling around in front of Slukinski. And carried out by Morrissey. Morrissey chops it down the left wing board. Swanson will chase after it. Icing waved off. Swoboda comes out now as they'll start up in a line change will Fargo. Swoboda tied up with a Fighting Saints skater. Now two skaters apiece. Swanson trying to muscle his way in, trying to win that puck. Here comes Quinn with it. Now Newmeyer. Newmeyer back for Quinn. Plant comes out just off the bench. Plant, Swanson. Now for Quinn, left circle. I think they wanted a center for Zam Plant. Zam gets it back. Now for Quinn. Quinn, Swanson, right circle. Back for Plant up high. Works his way, trying to work his way through the slot. Taken away by Hendrickson. Nice job. He just swiped it. Chopped up in the air in the attempt to dump it in from Hendrickson. Line change coming for the Fighting Saints. Loose Plant after it. Sends the puck along Lastarza at neutral ice. Swoboda trying to win the puck battle as he does. Takes it away. Play goes to the far corner. Now for Plant racing into the offensive zone. Knocked free. Grabbed on the run by Dubuque. Big hit applied as Michael Quinn knocks down Frank. 7:50 to go in the first. 1-0 Dubuque here in the opening period. Here's Gruba. Gruba now for Zam Plant for Fargo. Now Bentz gets a stick on it and sends that one along deep into the offensive zone. Back quickly comes Dubuque. Stretch pass. Has that one for Colin Frank. Cut off by Gruba. Right near the half wall. Sent in deep now behind the net. Bentz to play it. Actually, that is Fisher for Bentz. And taken back by Seamus Powell. Line change. Hakkarainen out there for Fargo as Frank spins around down to a knee. Tried to center, nobody home in red to get it. Here's Bentz, knocked free as Reeder. Chased by Hakkarainen as we approach 7 minutes to go in the opening period. Force trail 1-0. Game 2 of this Clark Cup final from Shields Arena. Hakkarainen works his way around the official. Taken away, Sondriel carries it in. Sondriel, pass broken up, gathered in by Noah Powell in the high slot. Spins, fires a shot through traffic. Dropped home and save made by Slukinski, denying Reeder, who had a Fargo skater draped to him. Feed for Scott. broken up by Davatella. It's loose in the slot. Comes out for Reeder, fires a shot, and the save by Hampton Slukinski. Dubuque is out shooting Fargo 10-2 now. Fargo's not gotten a shot on goal in, boy, close to 10 minutes. Timeout on the ice. 6:38 to go first period. Dubuque 1, Fargo nothing. Game 2 of the Clark Cup Finals continues in 60 seconds on KFGO FM and FloHockey. Off the faceoff won by the Fighting Saints. Offensive zone faceoff here. They lead 1-0, and they have controlled the pace of play. Fargo outshot 10-2. So far through about 13 and a half minutes of play. Puck through center, race for it. Merrill Stenari trying to get to it, and Fargo was constantly outshot their opponents through much of the postseason and of the regular season as well. Caleb Dick with it. Knocked away from behind by Stenari, but is handled there by Beckett Hendrickson. Sends it in deep. Slukinski behind the net for Gruba. D-to-D feed as letting it go through Newmeyer. Back to neutral ice. And controlled there by the Fighting Saints. Dump back in. Gruba to play it. We're inside is 6 minutes to go here in Game 2 of the Clark Cup Finals from Shields Arena. Fargo winning last night 3-1. Lepa carries it in. Fires in deep as he'll head to the bench. Just wanted to get that puck into the offensive zone. Try and get the forecheck set up. Dubuque didn't let him. Loose at the red line, poked free. Parks for Swanson, and they bottle up Swanson. And the puck sent in deep. Here's Parks. Backhanded feed as they try to ring it around. Buys it in. Hendrickson backhanded, right out of the stick of Morrissey. Parks, left circle spins, pass wide of Morrissey. Taken back by the Fighting Saints. Passes have not been clean here for Fargo in the opening period. But Dubuque's had a lot to do with that. Here's Swanson. Swanson feed Parks into the slot. Shot blocked. He gets it back, fires a shot. Radler closed the gate. Save made to the left of the net. Parks, Swanson down low. Centering feed. Newmeyer is there. They'll find Morrissey. He'll circle back right circle. Swoboda fanned on his attempt. Come back to neutral ice and pass broken up. Puck gathered in across the line. Sondril. Feed as Jubenville just into the zone. Sends it to the corner as Michael Quinn over there for the Force. Two skaters each way trying to win that puck battle. 4:35 to play here in the opening period. Still 1-0 Fighting Saints. Shots on goal 11-3 in favor of Dubuque. Near side Noah Powell. Puck off the skate of the official. Controlled by Fargo. Quinn and sent along by Lastarza and into the bench. Puck out of play. And we will stop things with 4:22 to go in the opening period of play. Fargo scored first last night, now 5-1 in the postseason when they score first. Dubuque getting the game's opening goal tonight. 6-0, trying to make it 7-0 via center ice faceoff. Jake Fisher and Charlie Arendt. Puck free, Bents for Taylor. As it comes back for Tate Taylor. Near side as Fisher trying to send it along with the puck out of play once again. And we'll try it once more. 4:15 to play. But Fargo's just not a lot of offensive zone time allowed. And really, it's not like Dubuque they've kind of controlled play, but a lot of time their speed has kind of broken up some things for Fargo as well. Off the draw. Brett Skinner talked about it in the pregame tonight. He says you're not going to completely stop with the weapons that they have. You're not going to completely shut them down, but you have to try and control their opportunities a little bit more. Gruba a race for the puck as Gruba gets tied up there with Michael Barron. Comes back to the point, Jubenville. Jubenville throws it on net. Slukinski comes up with a save, prevents a rebound. 11 saves here in the opening period for Hampton Slukinski. 2 shutouts in the postseason. His save percentage, 93.6%. Goals against average, 1.46. It is 1-0 Dubuque. And you look back in the 2 regular season matchups. Castro took the loss. Castro took the loss here November 3rd at Shields Arena. Slukinski shut him out in a 4-0 victory back on October the 14th in Dubuque. So far he has surrendered just 2 goals against the Fighting Saints going back to the regular season. Here's Bozer back behind the net. Bozer tied up as Stenari as Fargo looks to clear the defensive zone. They can't. Spinning as Michael Barron tried to send it back to the middle of the ice. Cornforth to play it. Jubenville retreats. Fires it hard up the inboards or off the sidewall, I should say. Here's Leppa. Leppa from the red line. Tom Leppa flips that one in. He'll dump and chase. Davatella trying to get to it and can't. Seamus Powell comes to it first. Broken up by Swanson. Fires it cross ice. Davatella sends that one in deep, and Fargo will start up in a line change. Swanson will try and keep that puck in the offensive zone. Now Morrissey joins in. Swanson centering feed. Did not connect like between the skates of Lee Parks. Seamus Powell to play it at the left circle. Plays it high up the glass, taken back by Newmeyer. Newmeyer dumps that puck back in. We're inside of 3 minutes to go in the first. In a period that's been handled by the Fighting Saints. They lead 1-0. Puck through the middle of the ice, sent in deep. Dubuque will complete a line change as out comes Lee Parks. Parks feeds it into the offensive zone, quickly handled by Lucas St. Louis. Puck through center, near side is Swanson. Swanson now for Leo Gruba. Gruba down the left wing boards. Gruba works his way left circle. Gruba centering feed off the goaltender's stick in the crease. Carried back out by Dubuque. He just threw it on net and forced Raylor to make a play on it. He has had a pretty quiet first period. Down to 2:15 to go in the first. Here's Swoboda, loose puck at the end boards, trying to win a puck battle. Now Lestarza back up the wall to Taylor at the point. D-to-D feed for Bozer. Bozer down the left wing boards. Bozer in deep, now behind the net. Sends it for Plant. Plant left circle with it. Quinn behind the net. He'll retreat. Sends it back up high for Bozer. Now Tate Taylor, that was Lestarza, not Quinn. Shot deflected as Lestarza after it, carried out by Dubuque to neutral ice, and Brazen Bozer to play it. Plant at the red line. Plant comes across the line. Feed did not connect with Davatella. Tries to play the carom off the half wall. Taken back by King. Puck comes through center at neutral ice. Lestarza for Plant. Tries to drop it off. Lead feed. Davatella trying to control. He's taken off the play. Well done by Visenden. He had to reach to try and get that puck, and Visenden was able to just take him out of the play completely. Davatella for Plant. Here's Lestarza. Lestarza into the forehand. Score! Michael Lestarza to the forehand. His 4th of the playoffs, and we're tied at 1. He beat Radler stick side. Quickly went back to the forehand. Bang! We're tied at 1. The Force needed a jump start. Lestarza may have provided one. At 18:44, we're back to even at Shields Arena. And backhanded in by Dubuque as Slukinski will make a play on it. Now for Tate Taylor. Now Davatella. Fired back by Jubenville. Fargo can get out of this 1-1. They'll gladly take it. Fired wide in a period where they were outshot, at times outplayed. Jubenville trying to fire it back in. Here's Tate Taylor. Final minute of play here in the first as we'll try to get the scoring here. Here's a chance for Leppa. 2-on-1. Leppa fires. He scores! Leppa went 5-hole and Fargo leads 2-1. I think Tom Lepp is okay, don't you? 5-hole on Riedler. Welcome back, Tom. After missing most of last night, his third of the postseason. 2 goals and a flash, and Fargo has the lead at 2-1. 19-14 is Leppa. All right, we have scoring on 2 goals we got to worry about. We've got some cleanup, but who knows? Fargo's buzzing now. 40 seconds as Shields Arena has officially come to life. Parks in the corner, back down the wall. As taken there by Swanson. Backhanded out, Morrissey trying to keep it in. Swanson chases after it. It goes to the end boards, avoids the hit from St. Louis. Now Parks behind the net. 21 seconds to go in the first as that's Swanson down. He's trying to get back up. He takes a shot at St. Louis. He lost his helmet. Now heads to the bench. He took a shot and he lost his helmet, so he has to go out. Here's a chance. Shot save made. Rebound St. Louis trying to control. Here's Morrissey. Down to 1. Fargo will lead 2-1 after 1 period of play. Now Morrissey tied up with Sondriel. Here comes the Dubuque skater in. Caleb Dix in the middle of it. So is Seamus Powell. Now Newmeyer is in. They got to do whatever they can to get everybody separated here at the end of the period. Boy, to the first period take a turn. Swanson, his helmet's still back at the end boards. So there he's look at Slukinski, but he got set down and got pinned in a really precarious situation. So we'll see if there's some penalties attached to all this, or they're just going to let everything slide and go into the second period. So here's the end of what happened to the first. Sondriel and Morrissey. Sondriel, there you see, takes a shot at Morrissey. There's Noah Powell that came in. Now Newmeyer comes in on Caleb Dick, and it just piece by piece escalated from there. I don't think they can let. Now Reeder and Morrissey talk things over. Swanson got his helmet back. He's probably a good time for him to let him cool off. That's kind of where it started, and then now the captains Morrissey and Reeder talking it over with the officiating crew. Lastarza from Davitella and Platt tied it at 18:44 to make it 1-1. Then Tom Leppa from Tate Taylor and Reed Davitella makes it a 2-1 game. So we'll see if they put any penalties on the board here. They do have one for Dubuque. Noah Powell is in, so it looks like as of now Fargo will have the power play, but we'll get things sorted out and hopefully have a complete answer. Well, they do have the roughing call on Powell. We'll sort all this through. We need a break. I think you do too. First period got ramped up. Fargo gets 2 goals in a 30-second span. They lead 2-1 after 1 period of play. It's game 2 of the Clark Cup Finals. Back with the intermission report after this on 104.7 FM, KFGO and FloHockey. Close up. So if you have a highlight, you can play it coming back. Okay, sounds good.
That was number 1. Tom Leppa followed 30 seconds later. And in a first period that Fargo, it felt the ice was tilted on the Dubuque side. They had come out buzzing. They showed off their speed. All of a sudden, things changed, and boy, it turned quickly with that Lestarza goal to tie it. Tom Leppa goes 5-hole from the right circle on Radler to make it 2-1. The only penalty out of that whole skirmish was Noah Powell, 2 minutes for roughing, right at 20 minutes at the 20-minute mark. So that was it. So Powell, I think, might have got it for being perhaps the third man in on that. So at 20 minutes, Noah Powell for roughing. Dubuque's penalty kill is 13 of 13 in the postseason. They'll have to try and kill one off as Fargo, when we come out for the second period, will start with the man advantage. So 2-1 Fargo after 1, as Dubuque really controlling play early on, getting a goal as they have updated the scoring on that goal. They took the second assist away from Eric Paulson. It is Juraj Pekarczyk had the rebound goal, backhanded rebound goal past Hampton Slukinski from Seamus Powell, who fired the shot from the point. Pekarczyk, his third goal of the playoffs, started the scoring at 6:18 of period number 1. And that gave the Fighting Saints a 1-0 lead. Lestarza's goals, you heard. Appreciate Thomas Fox, our producer, with that highlight. And Michael Lestarza from Reed Davatella and Zam Plant. Davatella, his third assist. Zam Plant, his 5th of the postseason at 18:44 as he went to the forehand at the last instant to tie it up at 1. And then in the final minute, Tom Leppa from Tate Taylor and Reed Davatella. So Davatella assisting on both the Fargo goals in the final minute 16 of the period. So Leppa from Taylor and Davatella at 19:14 gives Fargo a 2-1 lead. Fargo scored 2 goals on 5 shots. They were outshot by Dubuque 13-5. The only penalty of the opening 20 minutes came right at the end of the period. And that skirmish right near the Dubuque bench. Noah Powell, 20 minutes mark, 2 minutes for roughing. Fargo will start the second period with the power play. Elsewhere in sports today, the Twins had a 7-1 lead early. The bullpen struggled today in Toronto. The Blue Jays beat Minnesota by a score of 10-8 as Simeon Woods Richardson chased in the 5th inning. The Minnesota bullpen gave up 5 runs. Cole Sands gave up 3. Jay Jackson took the loss for Minnesota as the Twins, a rare loss here in the last 3 weeks, now 23-16 on the year, as Carlos Santana and Ryan Jeffers homered for Minnesota. Rubber game of the 3-game series will be tomorrow. In the NHL playoffs, Carolina Hurricanes have a 3-1 lead on the New York Rangers. That's late in the first period. Hurricanes trying to keep that series alive. That's game 4 with the Rangers leading 3-0. And Dallas and Colorado, game 3 of their series, it's moved to Denver. That series is tied 1 game apiece. In the NBA playoffs, the Dallas Mavericks, game 3 winners over the Oklahoma City Thunder, 105-101. So the Mavs have a 2-1 lead in that series as it's moved to Dallas, getting a split in OKC in the first 2. Boston and Cleveland, game 3 as that series moves to Cleveland. That series is even at 1 apiece. Just a reminder that the series will move to Iowa next weekend, as Friday and Saturday we'll have the watch party. 7:05 is the start. The doors will open at the High Point Bar and Grill, which is here in the upper lobby of Shields Arena. All fans are welcome. You can cheer on the Force free of charge. They'll have some, I imagine, some beverages available for a cost as well. But you can come check out the game 3 next Friday with fellow Force fans. 7:05, the doors will open at the High Point Bar and Grill at 6:30. If there's any need for a game 4, if that's necessary, it's also a 7:05 start with the doors opening at 6:30. If we do go the distance, go to 5, back here at Shields Arena a week from Tuesday on the 21st. But that seems like a ways away. 2-1. Fargo owns the lead through 20 minutes of play. We'll come back with more of the intermission report in 2 minutes on FloHockey and 104.7 FM KFGO.
Honda generators are equipped with easy starting
As just a little recap of that, the futures draft, which is phase 1, I recall the Force tendered forward Cole Baumgartner. That's really the futures draft. He was tendered back on Sunday, March 10th. What essentially was their first-round pick. Force also selected with the 71st pick Phoenix Cahill. He was a selection. He is from Cottage Grove, Minnesota. Cahill selected at pick number 71 in the 5th round. Went with Zach Zimmerman out of Fargo. Actually plays high school hockey over in Moorhead, but Zimmerman selected as the 75th pick in round 5. Pick number 90, picked another local product. Keaton Junt, a forward out of West Fargo, was pick number 90, a 6th-round pick. Pick number 105, 7th-round pick in the phase 1 draft. Jacob Monks out of Michigan was selected. He is a forward. Pick number 135, Alexei Zhukov out of Russia, was a 9th-round pick. Pick number 135 of the phase 1 draft. As he is a forward, and pick number 150, Samuel Renak out of Slovakia, goaltender, was the 150th pick in phase 1 of the USHL draft. We'll get to phase 2, as phase 2 is kind of players a little bit older that have a chance. They'll pick a lot of players. Some might end up here, some may not, but some that might end up coming here next year. Of course, there's going to be a lot of open spots to fill with a lot of experienced guys that'll be moving on to college hockey, as it'll be the next crop of 4 superstars. That futures draft is for some players a little bit younger that, if they come here, might be here a year or 2 or so down the line. So that's how that works here with the USHL draft phase 1, and we'll go through the phase 2 selections in the second intermission of play. So 2-1 in favor of Fargo. Fargo 2 goals in 5 shots in the opening period of play. But we'll see if that strong end of the first by Fargo carries over. They'll start with the power play, despite getting outshot 13-5. And withstood solid play by Dubuque, as they really controlled the pace of play, really took things away offensively from Fargo. But sometimes it's hard to get those goals when you get set up in the offensive zone. To get those, sometimes you have to win a puck battle, make something happen, as really they did on both those goals. They got a quick change of possession that led to the Stars getting free down the slot and scoring to tie it up at 1, and then another loose puck battle that turned into a 2-on-1 where Lepa able to get a clean shot and beat the goaltender 5-hole. Just 2 little plays like that changing the course of the game to this point. Fargo 2, Dubuque 1. We'll come back for you folks on FloHockey with the first period highlights. Period number 2 moments away. We're back in 2 minutes on 104.7 KFGO FM and FloHockey. Force out for the second period of play, owning a 2-1 lead. Game 2 of this Western Conference Final. So we'll get to those first period highlights here post-haste. A few more of those Force coming out. There's Lestarza, there's Zamplant, and off we go. Fargo, Zamplant starting things there. Shot, one of the early shots of the game. Radler with the save. Meanwhile, Dubuque buzzing as Hampton Slukinski stopping 12 shots in the opening 20 minutes. Seamus Powell firing a shot. Pekarczyk got the rebound goal at the backhand to start the scoring and give the Fighting Saints a 1-0 lead. Swoboda with a nice hit, finishing off the check there on Visiden. Certainly had some physicality. There's Slukinski denying James Reeder on a scoring chance in front. Reeder again. Slukinski squeezes that one between the pads. There was Plant. That got Lestarza free to the forehand. Beat Radler to tie it up at 1. Before the fans could sit down, Fargo did it again. Lepa 2-on-1. Went 5-hole on Radler in the final minute. 2 goals in 30 seconds. And Fargo owns a 2-1 lead in a period. They probably got outplayed as a whole, but you know what? Both these teams are good, but sometimes when you're good, you can find ways to overcome that. 5 of 19 is Fargo in the postseason on the power play. They went 0 of 2 last night. Dubuque is perfect, 13 of 13 on the penalty kill here in the postseason. And Fargo and Dubuque 1-2 penalty kill during the regular season. The Fighting Saints win the draw and they clear the puck down. It's Quinn, Plant, Swanson, Gruba, and Lee Parks. Attempt to dump it in, got broken up by Dubuque. Reeder comes up high as they do get that puck in, but quickly cleared back out by the Fighting Saints. Fargo's given up 1 shorthanded goal in the postseason. Here's Quinn, harassed by Reeder. Now finds Plant. Zamplant across the line. As Plant turns, will find Gruba. Gruba now down low. Zamplant circles around to the corner. Back for Gruba. 1:16 to go in the man advantage. Fargo without a shot on goal so far in this power play as they set up that box 4 to try to cut things off in the slot. Gruba drops it off. Left circle. Here's a shot. Gruba shot and a blast save made by Radler. The rebound was out there and finally cleared out. Reeder across the line. Reeder drops it in front, fanning on his attempt, sliding into the net. That time was Sondriel for Dubuque. Nicely done shorthanded. Parks couldn't slow down the puck as it came through center and cleared out by Dubuque again. 43 seconds to go in the man advantage early here in the second. Stretch pass, Swoboda couldn't handle it cleanly and taps it back to Michael Quinn. Now Tate Taylor. Taylor has a power play goal here in the postseason. He'll fire it in, rings around to the far side. Fisher lets it through. Now Plant. Plant returns it around the wall to the near side. Taken there by Taylor. Tate Taylor. Now Swoboda comes free. Taken by Fisher. Fisher works his way back towards the blue line. Brazen Bozer. Left circle for Taylor. Taylor top of the left circle. Stick handles back for Bozer. 9 seconds to go on the power play. Fisher for Bozer. One-timer. Taylor fires. Radler the save. Fargo with 2 shots on goal as the penalty expires. Fargo trying to keep the offensive zone. They do. Held in far side by Fisher. Comes back to Fisher. Puts the brakes on near the right circle. Drops it off for Bozer. Swoboda works his way to the slot. Bozer comes up high. No, Gruba just off the bench gets the puck. Drops it off for Bozer. So sustained time in the offensive zone here after the power play expired for Fargo. And that ends. Carried out by Giuliani. And here comes Dubuque. Noah Powell just off the bench. Lestarza backhands it right to Giuliani. Left circle, a shot. Saves Slukinski. Rebound loose. They get to that rebound and Slukinski denies. Looks like it was Powell. Checked out, it was Giuliani again. So that rebound was out there for the taking. Giuliani get there and was able to get there. And Slukinski with 2 big saves. Lepa, Stenari trying to get to it far side as Noah Powell lost an edge and went down. 17:05 to go in the second. 2-1 Fargo in the second period. Game 2 of the Clark Cup Finals. Noah Powell with it. They break out and they come across the line to the Fighting Saints. Pekarczyk sends it along, gets it back. Now check that. That is Charlie Aaron in the corner. Hendrickson fires a shot. That's deflected up into the netting. And out of play it goes. 16:47 to go in the second. So Dubuque remains flawless in the penalty kill in the postseason, 14 for 14, Force lead it 2-1. Good job there in that penalty kill. Really started, they won the opening draw. So it took Fargo a little while, probably the third time through, to get that puck and establish things in the offensive zone. And then once they did that, you were able to stretch it a little bit after the power play expired. I'd say a pretty numbers-wise crowd, pretty similar to last night. We had a little over 4,300 here at Shields Arena, and I'd say we are close to that number. Off the draw, Quinn, Tate, Taylor. And again, the numbers all season long, even in the postseason, and I think the Force knew when they got a Friday and Saturday here this weekend where they had to work around Sundays and Mondays and busy arena schedule here. As the faceoff will be just outside the zone. It's a nice hand. They put the 4 Force interns who graduated college today. So Connor and Logan, Jess Undum had some work with the Fargo Moorhead Redhawks as well. Those 4 graduating college and on to adulting. 2-1 in favor of it's some good, some not. Here comes Fargo with Parks. Parks down the right side. Parks tries to drop it for Swanson, couldn't get to it. Centering feed got broken up and carried back out to center. Pekarczyk with it, tried to drop into the slot, taken by Michael Quinn for the Force. Pekarczyk gets it back behind the net as tries to drop it off. It went wide of Charlie Aaron, carried out quickly by Lee Parks. Up ice it goes. Swanson chases after it, and controlling it are the Fighting Saints. Taken there by Pekarczyk. Quick pass connects. Actually, that's Pekarczyk from Visiden. Puck into the offensive zone, but a line change coming here for the Fighting Saints. Leo Grubo back behind his goaltender. Finds Plant. Connects on the feed for Plant. He'll dump it in down the right wing boards. A little over 4 minutes into the second period. Now the puck to the near corner. Cornforth giveaway. Here's Plant to the slot. Zam drops it off. And Swoboda back for Plant. Shot and wide. Not sure if goaltender Radler got a piece of that. Here's Plant near corner with it. Plant drops it for Bozer. Back down the wall as he gets taken down. Nice job there by Michael Barron. Play goes to the corner. Swoboda hauls down Seamus Powell. Lestarza behind the nets as Swoboda comes away with it. Back to the left point for Bozer. D-to-D feed finds Gruba. Gruba down the left side with it. Puts the brakes on. Now little stop and go move on Cornforth. Drops it off Lestarza. Shot blocked loose. Gruba works his way back behind the net. Swoboda's camped in front with all kinds of traffic in front. Gruba, puck taken away. Loose puck trying to get to it. Lestarza as the feed for Swoboda intercepted by the Fighting Saints as Cornforth able to spin and fire it in. We're a little over 5 minutes into the second. 2-1 Fargo. So far been pretty docile here in the second period. Gruba taken away by Gavin Cornforth. Works his way. Centering feed broken up by Gruba. Puck to the corner. St. Louis has it as his pass attempt blocked by Betts. Forces the puck out of the zone. Dubuque has to reset. Backhanded in. Bozer will chase after it. Chased by Cornforth. And coming away with it, Gruba. Gruba turns, will find Stenari. Trying to grab it on the run. Stenari couldn't get to it. Puck chopped at as carrying it in with Sondriel. Poke checked away by Tom Leppa for Bozer. Bozer plays it high off the glass and quickly into the Fargo offensive zone. Kept in and now in deep. Leppa chases after it. Tom Leppa bats it to the end board. Stenari will play it there as he gets right to avoid a check and went down. Tried to work around Luke Melbiff. Kept in. Newmeyer at the blue line for Fargo. Davatella up high. Leppa brings it around to the far side. Taken there by Fargo. Pass taken back by Sondriel behind the net. Here's Stenari in the corner with it. Stenari, top of the circle, Davatella. Davatella fires a shot. Leppa there for a tip or a redirect and tipped wide. 13:25 to go here in the second. Still 2-1 Force. Game 2 of the Clark Cup Finals from Shields Arena. Force dump it back in. Davatella lets that puck go through where it's claimed by the Fighting Saints. Pass intercepted Quinn. They try to stretch pass, but Quinn thwarted that. Dump back in Melbiff. Back up the wall as he battles. Powell does. Noah Powell with Morrissey. Puck comes free right circle. Sweeping at it. Davatella got a piece of it. Powell heads up ice with it. Dumps that puck in as That'll be an icing call and should lead to a stoppage, I believe. 12:56 to go in the second, or will it? It will not. It will be offensive zone face-off here for the Fargo Force in a 2-1 game here on FloHockey and 104.7 KFGO FM. So face-off will be to the goaltender's right. Morrissey was in a lot of draws last night, and excellent centerman. Sondriel on the draw as well. Gavin Morrissey from Dayton, Ohio. Sondriel from Woodbury. Twin Cities kid. You got Jake Fisher from Woodbury as well. Thrown deep back behind the goal that goes. And Reeder for Dubuque backhands it out. There's it comes down Gruba. Gruba sends that puck into the Fargo offensive zone as the Fighting Saints will try it again. That in wide of Taylor and dumped in. Slukinski. Slukinski behind the net. Will ring it around to the near side where it's cut off there by Beckett Hendrickson. Feedback for Hendrickson as he tried to cut in front. Didn't connect. Taken back by Fargo and Max Swanson. Swanson dumps that puck in. Fargo will begin a line change. 12:20 to go here in the second. Plant is out. At center with it come the Fighting Saints. Paulson veers wide to the left. Feed down low. Centering feed in front. They score to tie it. In front for Beckett Hendrickson. And Hendrickson has his third goal of the playoffs, and we're even at 2. There they connect. Paulson, as Hendrickson got behind, I believe it might have been Leppa, and right to the doorstep, and just tipping that one home, might have got behind Plant. Either way, Dubuque has evened things up 2 apiece. The goal at 7:49 of the second period. So Paulson should get an assist. He should get the second assist on that. So Dubuque evens things up at 2 off the face-off. Controlled by the Force and Newmeyer. So momentum swings back to the Fighting Saints. Backhanded in. The scoring, we'll get that for you in a moment. As here comes Dubuque with a 3-on-2. It connects with Frank. Frank a drive. Save made. Puck deflected as Lestarza dropped it right back to Slukinski. Well, the time out of the ice is like Lestarza got a stick on it, kind of poked it back to Slukinski into the goalie mitt, and able to freeze things with 11:50 to go in the second. And it's Hendrickson from Visenen and Eric Paulson to tie things up at 2. Time for the beer can race. We'll take a break. 11:50 to go in the second. The Force and the Fighting Saints tied at 2 in Game 2 of the Clark Cup Finals. We're back in 60 seconds on KFGO FM and FloHockey. Beckett Hendrickson. Hendrickson, his third goal of the postseason. Joona Väisänen, his third assist. It's his second point of the Clark Cup final. And Eric Paulson, his fourth assist, 5th point of the postseason. And tied at 2 as we welcome you back to Shields Arena. Here's Leppa. Leppa Davitella's shot off the back of Stenari and didn't end up on goal, where it's played there by goaltender Radler. Another shot kicked aside by Radler, and out come the Fighting Saints. 3-on-2. Frank trying to get around Taylor. Chase down the puck. He can't. Taken there by Brazen Bozer. Now Stenari. Stenari drops it off Leppa. Leppa will fire it in from neutral ice, and Radler forced to make a save on that one, and he will, I say, he hung on to it for a little too long. We wanted to drop it off, but held on to it long enough for a stoppage. 11:14 to go in the second, so Dubuque ties it up at 2 here at Shields Arena. And game 2, it's a tough one. Even if you have home ice, said, you know, when you get to this point, everybody's good. And Dubuque, 90 points, top team, and very good on the road this year. Talked a little bit about that last night. They were 21-7-0-1 during the regular season on the road, including a win in this building back in early November. Fisher and Charlie Arend on the draw. Lead to the right of Radler. Offensive zone face-off for the Force. Off the face-off comes to Bentz. Bats it off the end boards. Cornforth will backhand that all the way down as icing is whistled there with 11:04 to go in the second period. Tied at 2. Shots on goal now 17-9 in favor of the Fighting Saints. Each team with 4. Boy, and Fargo nearly through the halfway point. Just 9 shots on goal. You haven't said that too many times from the regular season into the postseason. Just joined us. Dubuque scored on a rebound goal from Uri Pekarczyk, made it 1-0. Then Fargo 2 goals in a 30-second span for a 2-1 lead, but Hendrickson tying it just moments ago. Backhanded in by Harper Bentz for Fargo. Radler will play it back behind the net. Drops it out for Visiden. Visiden, long feed as getting tied up was Cornforth by Quinn. And Quinn gets to that puck. Newmeyer sent along by Hackerainen. No, did that puck end up on the bench? I think it did. Out of play. 10:45 to go in the second period. You go back, Fargo in 5-game series. They have not won a game 2 since 2018. So how many 5-game series? Had the Clark Cup Finals in 18. Likewise in 21. And the 2. So it's been, and didn't win game 2 of the Sioux City series as well. Lost here on home ice, 4-1. So that's 5 consecutive 5-game series. They have lost game 2. And a lot of those have been on home ice. Pass came across 2 lines, and they were just into the offensive zone as a couple of Dubuque skaters, one of them Noel Powell. So they just missed. They would have had an odd man rush, but we'll never know now. I've saw offside the call at 10:32 to go in the second period. Just shows you had, for Dubuque to win 6 consecutive playoffs, to win 6 in a row in the postseason says a lot. As Fargo, even as good as they were, swept Tri-City. They won 4 straight before losing games 2 and 3. As do we have a penalty coming? We do. A delayed penalty call. And as Noel Powell lost his helmet, I think that's going to lead to a Fargo penalty. As Gruba will go in. Once you pop that helmet off, well, a lot of times going to lead you to a penalty. Luke Gagne's our officials. The referees, Luke Gagne and Chaz Noki. Linesmen are Riley Hickey and James McQuestion. So the officials are talking it over as Gruba will go in for Fargo. But for what and for how long? We'll get the announcement here. It's a roughing call on Gruba. I don't think the official was mic'd up and didn't have it on. So Gruba on a roughing call. So Dubuque, their power play, which was excellent in the regular season, over 31%, is 3 of 28 here in the postseason. 10.7%. Fargo's penalty kill now at 9 of 10 of the postseason. And here's a critical one here in a 2-2 tie. Noah Powell in the draw, and Fargo wins it with Morrissey. That's a nice face-off win, but his attempt to clear the puck all the way down went in to the benches and out of play. So we'll send the face-off back in the Dubuque offensive zone. The penalty kill for Fargo Morrissey, Bozer, Davitella, and I believe Taylor it is. Lepa, we'll see if we see him on the penalty kill, because apparently doing all right. Well, he got a goal earlier, but he has seen consistent time out there. We'll see if we see him on the penalty kill. Seamus Powell for Paulson, right circle. Top of the circle, Powell, shot save made, puck cleared out. Morrissey backhands it out, and all the way down. Slukinski's good, but they give him a lot of help, and there was Exhibit A right there. Nicely done as Morrissey clears that puck with the backhand. Dubuque back in, poked free, and offside's going to be the call. Fargo had really probably a whistle that might favor Dubuque there, because Fargo had possession, and they were ready for maybe another clearing attempt, but saved by the whistle. 9:49 to go in the second, 1:29 to go on the man advantage. 2-2 tie in game 2. The USHL Clark Cup Finals. Michael Barron on the draw and controlled by Fargo as Bozer he tried to clear it, and that one ended up into the bench. So a couple of clearing attempts by Fargo have ended up in the bench and out of play. So that's going to lead an offensive zone faceoff. He was trying to get it away from the middle of the ice, but don't have maybe quite the margin for error, especially kind of angling it towards the benches. You got to keep that thing low, and he didn't. So Noah Powell and Morrissey, talked about, Morrissey did a great job on faceoffs last night. He might have got in early. Noah Powell, Paulson, Hendrickson, Cornforth, and Seamus Powell. So really just one true D-man out there at Seamus Powell, the man advantage here for the Fighting Saints. Off the face-off, controlled again by Fargo. Reed Davitella has Morrissey with him. Davitella, he'll try to drop it off for Morrissey, but the pass broken up. He elected to pass instead of shoot, and back comes Paulson for Dubuque. Centering feed for Noah Powell, broken up, cleared but not out, controlled by Seamus Powell. They showed off their speed, and that pass connected. They'd have had a quality scoring opportunity. Seamus Powell fanned his one-time attempt. And the one-timer now Paulson right circle, down low. Hendrickson tried to drop it in front. It's loose in front, and there was traffic in front. The official signals no goal. Puck out to neutral ice. 45 to go on the power play. Seamus Powell for Cornforth got a caught between his skates. He'll go back and retrieve it. Fargo Tom Lepa out there in the penalty kill now. Davitella heads out, so Swoboda in with Bozer and Newmeyer. Deflected to Swoboda at center. Lepa looks to carry it in. Gave it away to Sondriel at center. Sondriel down the left wing boards. Broken up. Puck taken away by Newmeyer. And here's Lepa. Intercepts the feed. Lepa tried to take off with it, but puck taken back by Vizinen with a little bit of help from Pekarczyk. Pekarczyk will ring it around to the near side. 5 seconds to go on the Dubuque power play. Puck out to neutral ice. Fargo kills it off. And here's a giveaway. Lepa, Gruba off the bench. Pass hopped over his stick. Otherwise, they might have had a chance as Gruba gets it back to the slot. Trying to possess that puck so they can maybe get a change in personnel out there. They do get Swanson out. Shot from deep in the right circle from Quinn. Save made by goaltender Radler. Back come the Fighting Saints with it. Here's a chance. Reeder backhanded. Saves Slukinski. Back over to the corner with it. Puck will work its way back to the point. Fired back in by Charlie Aaron. Tate Taylor plays it. Taylor, as the puck goes through neutral ice, controlled by the Fighting Saints again. 7:41 to go in the second. Tied at 2. Puck comes free. Plant just off the bench. Takes it at center. Look at Zam go across the line. Swanson, pass deflected. Lastarza drops it in front, shot wide. Then tried to drop it back for Plant, but that pass did not connect. Feed for Lastarza. Puck batted up in the air, stays in play. Bouncing here to the near side. Played high off the glass to the end boards. Plant, sharp angle shot and a save. As Swanson tried to stick handle, get to the forehand, and couldn't. Here comes Frank with it for the Fighting Saints. Frank down the right wing boards. Lost an edge. Tipped out. Carried out Swanson. 3-on-3. Max Swanson. Look at him go down the left wing boards. Puts the brakes on. Works his way back towards the blue line. Quinn fires a shot, blocked. Comes back to Swanson up high. Swanson around one skater. Feed. Plant. Tried to drop it off in front. Did not connect. They had Lastarza there, but tried a little backhanded flip that did not connect. Here's Quinn. Quinn fires it back in for Fargo. Radler couldn't slow it down. Here's Hakkarainen to the corner. Takes a hit. Play to the corner. Hakkarainen and Plant. Puck comes free to Harper Betts. Feeds it back to Bozer, left point. D for Quinn. Shot through traffic. Deflected and just wide. Off the carom. Off traffic in front. Bozer a shot hard off the end boards. Hakkarainen couldn't get to it. And Dubuque gets a much-needed clear. Backhanded feed. Quinn trying to get to it. Slukinski bats it free off the glass near side. Hakkarainen tangled up with a teammate Fisher. Back to Eero. 6:10 to go in the second. Feed. Betts loose. Bouncing from the slot. On to Radler, who covers up to freeze the puck. 6:06 to go in the second. Fargo puts some pressure on and will remain even as we get to the second media timeout of the period. 6:06 to go in the second. Game 2 of the USHL Clark Cup Finals. Fargo 2, Dubuque 2. We're back in 60 seconds on 104.7 KFGO FM and FloHockey. Back at Shields Arena, 6:06 remaining in the second period. Game 2 of the Clark Cup Finals. We are tied at 2. Fighting Saints win the faceoff. Caleb Dick. And they come across the line with it as the shot blocked, as Andrew King's shot was blocked. And racing out with it comes Harper Betts. Betts flips it in. Hakkarainen and Jake Fisher out there for Fargo as out come the Fighting Saints. King. The feed, loose puck into the slot, taps it to Giuliani. Giuliani now for Caleb Dick. Dick fires a shot, glove save, Slukinski. They had a couple of shots, or a couple of skaters in front for screens. Taylor, as he was last night, being a bit of an agitator, and Nick Romeo took the bait and gave him a healthy shove, as there you see Caleb Dick with that shot. They had a couple of skaters in front. Well, Taylor took the first push and then kind of said, go ahead, pal, and Romeo said, fine. 21-11, shots on goal in favor of Dubuque. We're tied at 2 here in the second period. 5:37 remaining here in period number 2. Morrissey and Noah Powell in the face-off. Gavin Morrissey wins the draw. As cleared, they do keep it into the Fighting Saints. Back for Michael Quinn. Quinn over the corner for Lee Parks. Parks trying to send it along for Swanson. Jump and rope the official. Swanson handles it. Play goes to the corner. Escorted there by Noah Powell. Morrissey trying to get around Fisher Scott. Noah Powell with it for the Fighting Saints. Backhanded, knocked free. Parks trying to control. As he's taken off the puck. Sondrio plays it now for Dubuque. 5:05 to go in the second. Caleb Dick feed and dumped in by Dubuque. They will start up on a change, at least in the back end. Jubenville and Seamus Powell out there for a shift. Centering feed did not connect. Comes back high slot for Powell. Powell, one-timer shot. Glove save, Slukinski. He had a one-timer earlier he fanned on. That one was pretty crisp. Glove save by Hampton Slukinski. It's his 20th of the night. And that'll bring things to a halt with 4:48 to go in the second period in a 2-2 tie game. Series will move to Dubuque. Game 3, Friday night, 7:05. Game 4, if needed, a week from tonight at 7:05. Leppa and Eric Paulson on the draw. A lot of the prognosticators, I saw the rink live and FloHockey and some of those, I haven't in the prediction segment, I haven't seen anybody that's said this isn't going to go 5, and be hard to argue as teams fairly evenly matched. And that is kind of shown here, especially tonight. Here is Fargo with Merrill Stenari through center as Stenari dumps it in. Jubenville after it. Seamus Powell takes a hit. And the Fighting Saints look to break out with it. Lappa, and he gets set up in the forecheck. Turnover, Davatella. Davatella puts the brakes on top of the right circles. They do force a giveaway as the shot tipped in wide. Lappa was capped in front, takes a shove, down he goes. Here's Paulson, drops it off left side, feed. Tried to find Hendrickson, hit him on the back, and back comes Fargo with Davatella. Davatella gets spun around and down by Jubenville. Here's Zam Plant, fires a shot from the left circle, and the glove saved by Swedish goaltender Kevin Radler with 4:05 to go in the second. And we are even at 2 here from Shields Arena. 4:05 to play in period number 2. Shots on goal 22-14 in favor of Dubuque, and now in the period, Fargo got 2 goals on 5 shots in the opening 20 minutes. 9 apiece, and the shots on goal is offensive zone face-off for Fargo. Line of Plant, Swoboda, and Lestarza. So they've kind of kept those lines intact tonight. Fargo wins the draw. Taylor one-timer. Bozer fires a shot wide. Missed the net. Try to go, look like to the glove side. See if Bozer gets another chance. Bozer throws it in front, deflected. Radler didn't see it right away. A bouncing puck and cleared out by Dubuque and out of play. I don't think he saw it at first, as it might have been a brief instant of panic as that puck was loose in the crease and finally cleared out. Might have been Cornforth that helped him out. The clearing attempt ends up out of play, so it keeps the face-off in the offensive zone for the Force once more. Plant and Charlie Aaron this time on the draw. If they got, I would say if it was Lestarza, as they ready to drop the puck, was linesman Riley Hickey. Kind of talked to both the forwards on each side. Skater lost a stick. Michael Barron lost a stick, loose at the blue line, poked out, and again, Dubuque without Teddy Merrill suspended for the hit on Tom Lappa last night. Suspended, I believe it's 1 game on the suspension, so he'll be eligible to play game 3 Friday night. Swoboda, now it's controlled by Dubuque. Shot blocked, didn't get through. Off of Tate Taylor, cleared out by Fargo. Lestarza finds it at neutral ice, and backhands that one in, right into the body. One of the Fighting Saints, nearly a giveaway, and hopped over the stick of Zam Plant, backhanded by Bozer into the offensive zone. A bouncing puck settled down by Gavin Cornforth. Taken away by Plant, trying to force a turnover. Racing in, grabbed by Lestarza. Here's Parks with it. Feet in front for Plant, didn't connect. And the loose puck cleared out there by defenseman Fisher Scott. Nearly a giveaway. Parks after it as Fargo puck comes through center. And Newmeyer will chase it down in the defensive zone. Line change coming here for Dubuque. 2:47 to play in the second. Newmeyer puts the brakes on as he enters the offensive zone. Backhanded down the wall, taken back by Dubuque. Pass broken up, but off the deflection, grabbed on the run as trying to fire a shot was King. King forced over to the corner by Michael Quinn. They've got Frank capped in front. Puck comes free far side. Parks tries to chop it out of the zone. Back to neutral ice it goes now. Malbuff chases after it. Puck deep into the offensive zone here for the Fighting Saints. Kicked around, and Quinn, goal line extended to the left of Slukinski, has the puck taken off his stick. Swanson gets the return feedback from Morrissey. Swanson down the left wing boards with it. Here's Swanson. Feedback out as Morrissey. Gruba one-timer, a drive! Tipped in and score! If they give it to Gruba, it's his second in as many nights, and it looks like it will be Gruba. Screen shot gives Fargo a 3-2 lead. Yeah, it looks like it got through. Quinn was there, but it looked like it got through and past Radler. Swanson was there as well. May have went off the defenseman Luke Malbutt. But Leo Gruba, his second goal in as many nights. And Fargo leads it 3-2. His third of the postseason. 17:58. As Fargo again scores late in the period, this one with just over 2 minutes to play. And a 1-goal lead for Fargo. Fired in by Noah Powell. Slukinski leaves it for Tate Taylor. Now you got to try and hold that lead here at the end of the period. We'll check on the assists, the rest of the scoring. They do give the goal to future Minnesota gopher Leo Gruba. Here's Meryl Stenari for Fargo. Stenari down the right wing board. Shot save made. Rebound loose. Leppa trying to fight it. Got a shot on it and right into the pads of Radler. Play continues on with Davatella back up the wall. Fargo turned that into a scoring chance real quick. Reeder tries to send the puck in. Davatella drops it off Stenari for Gavin Morrissey right at the blue line. Returns it right off the stick of Davatella. Chases it down to the corner. 1:17 to play in the second. 3-2 Fargo. Gruba from Gavin Morrissey and Max Swanson. So Mac picks up his 10th assist. Leads everybody in the postseason here in the USHL. Sondriel, bouncing puck through the slot. Play goes back to the corner. Morrissey for Max Swanson. Final minute of play here in the second period. Gruba, second in as many nights. 3-2 Fargo. A fluttering puck to the corner. Michael Quinn far side. Line change coming for the Fighting Saints. Here's Morrissey on the run. Swoboda weaves his way through skaters. Overskates it. Play over to the far corner. He's tied up there with Vizardin. And the puck battle won there in that 50-50 battle. Here's Paulson. Paulson veers wide down the right wing boards. Gets around Bozer. Now behind the net. Chased by Plant. 28 seconds to go, second period. 3-2 Force. Shot didn't get through traffic. Carried out by Plant. 3-on-2 for Fargo. Here's Plant. Swoboda. Return feed back for Plant. Broken up. Back out. Cleared out. Off the official. Taylor was trying to get it. Here's Pekarczyk. Pekarczyk centering feed broken up. Loose. 10 seconds to go in the period. Swoboda between his skates tries to clear it out. He does. All the way down. That'll end the period. And Fargo will lead heading to period number 2. Or to the second intermission. We're through 2. Tate Taylor exchanging pleasantries with Beckett Hendrickson. And Leo Gruba's goal with just over 2 minutes to go in the second period gives Fargo a 3-2 lead going in to the locker room for intermission number 2. So Hendrickson tied it, 7:49 of the second period, but Fargo would answer late as the 3 goals for the Force have all come late in the first 2 periods. 2 in the final minute 16 of the first, and that one with just over 2 minutes remaining from Leo Gruba. 2 periods in the books. Fargo trying to make it a 2-0 lead in this 2024 Clark Cup final as Fargo has the lead in game 2. 2 periods are in the books in the Clark Cup finals. Fargo 3, Dubuque 2. We'll get to the intermission report and much more coming up in 2 minutes on 104.7 KFGO FM and FloHockey. All right, if you have a highlight, you can play it coming back, and if you don't, no worries. Okay, sounds great. able to get it through a pretty tight window, did Leo Gruba. Thanks to Thomas Fox. The highlight there is, might have been tipped, but it looked at first like it was tipped. If it did, it went off the body of defenseman Luke Malbeuf. And Fargo leads it by a 3-2 score. Game 2 of the Clark Cup Finals. Brad Anderson here at Shields Arena. And let's get to that second period summary. Fargo led 2-1 at the start of period number 2. And scoring summary, Beckett Hendrickson got a feed in front from Pekarczyk and scored. Able to tip one past goaltender Hampton Slukinski. 7:49 into the second period for Beckett Hendrickson, the son of Darby Hendrickson, former NHLer, assistant coach for the Minnesota Wild out of Minnetonka. His third goal of the postseason. He had 27 and 64 points in the regular season. Pekarczyk has a 2-point night. He had the first goal for Dubuque, so he picks up his 6th assist of the postseason. That's his 8th point altogether in the postseason. And Eric Paulson gets his 4th assist, 5th point. That tied it up at 2. And then Leo Gruba, that blast from just inside the blue line, couple of strides inside the blue line. Gruba's 3rd goal of the year from Gavin Morrissey and Max Swanson. So Gruba's 2nd goal in as many games here in the Clark Cup Finals. For Gavin Morrissey, that is his 2nd assist and his 3rd point of the postseason. Max Swanson now, who leads all scorers, now at 14 points, 4 goals, and that his 10th assist and his 3rd point of the Clark Cup Finals. A goal and a helper last night, had the empty netter to seal the deal. 3-2, Fargo with the advantage. Shots on goal, Fargo starting to make that more of an even fight. 14-9 in the second period. 2-period totals, 22 for the Fighting Saints. The Force with 19. So your goaltenders, as goaltender Kevin Reidler has 16 saves, Hampton Slukinski is at 20 through 2 periods of play. 1 penalty in the second period. Leo Gruba called for roughing. 9:40 of the second period. Fargo killed off the penalty as the Fighting Saints got a couple of shots to the man advantage. And so far, 1 penalty, 2 minutes each side. As Fargo, that was in the postseason, this is game number, count them up here now, 3, 5, 9. This is game number 10 here of the postseason. And they have been shorthanded. That was the 11th time. And they are 10 of 11 on the penalty kill. The power play drought continuing here for Dubuque. Now 3 of 29. If there's been one thing that's maybe been a little bit of a surprise, is as good as they were on the power play throughout the season. Now 3 of 29 on the man advantage, which is maybe a bit surprising for whatever the reason. But I mean, go back last year, Fargo, as good as they were a year ago, just struggled on the power play all season long. So sometimes you kind of hit a little bit of a rut, and you're facing a Fargo team that was up towards the top as far as penalty killing goes throughout the course of the regular season, and that has continued into the postseason as well. We'll take a timeout. We'll hold off on that timeout here for just a second. Let's check some scores, NBA and NHL playoffs. Major League Baseball, as mentioned, the Twins lost today 10-8 to the Toronto Blue Jays. At a 7-1 lead early on, but the Blue Jays chasing Simeon Woods Richardson in the 5th inning, eventually tying things in the 6th, and Jays took the lead. I believe it was in the 7th inning, got a pair of runs. 10-8 the final, so a rare loss here in this stretch of really good baseball for Minnesota. 10-8 was the final score as they got to the deep end of the Twins bullpen as the Jays took the lead with 2 in the 7th as they combined 29 hits between the two teams in that game. In the NHL playoffs, one game in action right now is the New York Rangers trying to complete a sweep of the Carolina Hurricanes. Game 4 in Raleigh. Final seconds in the second period, Carolina leads it. It was 3-0. It's now 3-2. Rangers have cut it to a goal. Later tonight, it'll be Dallas at Colorado. Game 1 of that second round series in the West as the Avalanche and the Stars are tied at 1 game apiece. In the NBA playoffs, Dallas beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 105-101, so the Mavs have a 2-1 lead in that Western semifinal. Game 3 in the East with Boston and Cleveland will be coming up here just a matter of moments as the Celtics and the Cavaliers. That series is tied 1 game apiece. The Timberwolves will play tomorrow night in Game 4 of their series after they were soundly defeated at home 117-90. And that'll be 7 o'clock tomorrow night at Target Center. Wolves still have a 2-1 lead in that best-of-7 series. We'll take a timeout. We'll kind of recap Phase 2 of the USHL draft from earlier in the week for the Fargo Force. We'll do that just ahead of the puck drop for the start of the third. Force 3, Dubuque 2. Game 2 of the Clark Cup Finals from Shields Arena. We're back with more in 2 minutes. Okay. Force lead at 3-2, Game 2 of the Clark Cup Finals. Phase 2 of the USHL draft earlier this week. Fargo took in the 27th pick in round 2, took a goaltender, Alan Lendak, out of Slovakia. You might see him here next year, perhaps. Also, some of the other Phase 2 picks had Juha Salmonimi out of Finland. He was selected in, that was the 22nd round. Some of the other Phase 2 picks, Samuel Huck out of Calgary, Alberta. He was pick number 45. He was a 3rd round pick, Samuel Huck out of forward out of Calgary, Alberta. Some of the other selections for Fargo as well. 72nd pick, Tyler Graham out of Bloomington, Minnesota. Out of the Twin Cities. He's a forward out of Bloomington. Pick number 75, it was Matt Leahy, defenseman out of Victoria, British Columbia. 78th pick in Phase 2. Fargo was a 6th round selection. Ashton Bynum out of Dallas, Texas. He is a defenseman out of Dallas. Pick number 91, 6th round selection for Fargo, Noel Olgren out of Stockholm, Sweden. He is a forward. Pick number 107, Lenny Greenberg from El Segundo, California, a defenseman, 7th round pick, pick number 107. In the 8th round, pick number 111, Elias Zimmerman, a Swede from Sweden, out of is a forward. Pick number 122, a round 8 selection. It was Waylon Esche, I believe. It's spelled E-S-C-H-E, from Rome, New York. Another goaltender, so they draft a couple of goalies in the Phase 2 draft earlier this week. Pick number 152, round 10, Tomas Mikl out of the Czech Republic. Defenseman was selected. Pick number 167, round 11, Joseph McGraw from Sugar Land, Texas. Pick number 182, round 12, Jack O'Hannison out of Troy, Michigan. A forward, Landon Pappas from Alberta. He's from Airdrie, Alberta. Defenseman, 13th round selection. Pick number 212, Fargo selecting Felix Habach. He is a forward out of Austria. Tyler Geyer from Blaine, Minnesota, 15th round pick, pick number 227. Brooks Cullen out of Moorhead was 16th round pick, pick number 242 by Fargo. 242 overall, but Brooks Cullen out of Moorhead. A forward, Brady Kudrick out of Norwell, Massachusetts, selected as overall pick number 257 in the 17th round. Judd Knopf from Fenton, Michigan. The 18th round, pick number 272. Tucker Lindaker from Canton, New York, picked as number 287 overall. Zaid Penner, a defenseman out of Fargo, selected as the 302nd pick. Ilya Kolmakov out of Russia, pick number 317 overall. He is a forward. And as we mentioned, Jua Samalnimi was the 332nd pick, a goaltender out of Finland. So that, I believe, was all the Phase 2 draft picks there from the Fargo Force. So those are just some of the picks that we do have. So there we go. So it was a busy Phase 2 draft for the Fargo Force. 3-2. They own the lead as we get ready for the second period of play. Don't forget about those watch parties starting Friday night at the High Point Bar and Grill in the upper lobby of Shields Arena. That will be, doors will open at 6:30. Game will be at 7:05. 3-2 Fargo will come back with period number 3, and those video highlights will do that in 30 seconds on FloHockey and 104.7 FM KFGO. Let's make it short. Let's make it 30. Okay. Fargo out for the third period of play, owning a 3-2 lead. As we get to those highlights, there we go, as Fargo started the period with a power play. There you see Giuliani following his first shot in the rebound attempt and stopped twice by Hampton Slukinski. Fargo came back, Plant got the return feed back from Swoboda and fired a shot wide. This tie things for Dubuque. The feed in front, and Beckett Hendrickson tipping that shot home. That evened things up at 2 apiece. Hendrickson's third goal of the postseason. James Reeder to the backhand, got denied by Hampton Slukinski. He has 20 saves tonight. Loose puck, as Lastarza had a chance there, and that shot got deflected and wide. Fargo kept the pressure on as they nearly tipped that shot home, and then finally took the lead. As there you see Leah Grubo, one-timer and a blast. Couple of steps inside the blue line to give Fargo the lead back at 3-2. Like off the skate of Melbuff and in. So Travis Christopher urging the crowd here at Shields Arena to make a little bit of noise as they check on the attendance numbers here as well as get an opportunity. Try and get to that here, check that on the score sheet, but we've got a third period to worry about. Just underway, dumped in by the Fighting Saints. Sondriel after it, Brazen Bozer back behind the net. Tries to ring it around, out of the reach of Swanson, kept into the point, shot. And Sondriel camped in front, deflected and wide. Missed the net, back to neutral ice. It goes for Dubuque. Sondriel, candid feed as they come across the line with it to the Fighting Saints. Noah Powell to play it. Comes back to the point. Scott couldn't handle it. It's a race for the puck. Can Parks get there? Lee Parks. Here's a chance. Swanson shot denied. Great save there by Radler. Point blank range, and Radler keeps it a 1-goal game. Boy, not many deny Max Swanson like that, as Parks won that, got to that loose puck first, and unimpeded was Max Swanson. Leppa to the slot. Pass wide of Parks. Now Leppa back behind the net. Here is Max Swanson. Swanson, pass broken up right into the body of Noah Powell. Powell across the line with it from center and kicks it towards the net. It's covered up there by Hampton Slukinski. So a stoppage with 18:50 to play in the third, but Radler denying Swanson. That could have made it a 2-goal game. Now, there you see Parks getting to it right onto the tape of his stick. And Radler, that was maybe the best save he's made, probably the most important save. Crowd tonight, 4,378. Pretty close to what we had last night. Almost a match here at Shields Arena, but another great crowd watching a heck of a game. 3-2 Fargo here in game 2. Paulson comes across the line with it, trying to get around Newmeyer, plays him off the puck. Gruba, Newmeyer, trying to reverse field down to Aneen, gives the puck up in front, puck through the crease as Hendrickson lost it. He was about ready to pull the trigger and a shot. Gruba for Merrill Stenari. Stenari, a shot deflected and wide. Kicked aside by Radler. Fargo trying to see if they can keep things in the offensive zone. Plan to lose puck, try to bat it back out, but nobody home. And taken out there by Pekarchik. Was a 2-point night down the left wing boards. He goes. Taylor and Bozer sends it along to the far side boards. Listarza has it kind of crawl up his sweater. He's tied up there with Charlie Arendt. Plant trying to locate that loose puck, and Listarza trying to push it along. Close the gate as he ran right to a red and white wall that was defenseman Luke Melbeth. St. Louis carries it in. St. Louis, puck comes free, and trying to carry it out was Listarza. And able to send that through center. Fargo will change things up. Line change. Swoboda out there. Puck dumped in. He's Cornforth after it. He sends Tate Taylor down. Taylor sliding into the end board. Shot kicked aside as they found Charlie Aaron in the left circle. Kicked aside by Slukinski. St. Louis, another shot. Glove save. Hampton Slukinski again and hangs on. So it's been an active third period for the goaltender of the year in the USHL. Warroad, Minnesota's own Hampton Slukinski, who makes the save. Headed to Northern Michigan to join his brother. And he has come up with 23 saves tonight. Still 3-2 Fargo early here in the third. 17-19 to play here in period number 3. Morrissey and Noah Powell on the face-off. Boy, Morrissey's number of face-offs here in this Clark Cup Championship. And we'll have take 2 on the draw. Line of Morrissey, Swanson, and Parks. We saw in one shift that Leppo was out there. I think they might have been in the midst of a line change, but Leppo was out there with Swanson. I think that was on that opportunity when Swanson got denied at point-blank range. Back behind the net it goes. Loose, Quinn after it. Centering feed in front. Shot save made. Rebound from Noah Powell. I think got deflected, but missed the net. They dropped it in front. Slukinski the first save, and then Powell just shaking his head in disbelief. That rebound was out there, potentially to tie it. Centering feed, Sondriel there, and Powell, that one got deflected, ended up out of play. That was the first save, and Slukinski kicked away another one. So Hampton able to the task so far, but I feel like Dubuque's huffing and puffing and trying to blow the house down. 3-2. Fargo trying to win the draw, kept in by Visenden, trying to throw it in front for Hendrickson. Couldn't settle down a bouncing puck. Loose puck over to the corner as Pekarchik over there, backhanded by Taylor, sends that one along. Back for Tate Taylor. Loose puck, Pekarchik fanned on his shot. Taylor may have gotten a piece of it. Fargo looking to carry it out. Dalvatella for Stenari. Trying to get free on Visenden as they go down like bowling pins. Here's Leppa. Back out. Bozer shot deflected. Threw it in front as Leppa and Stenari there as the shot ended up wide. Just throwing that one on net and be looking for a friendly and fortuitous bounce. Unable to clear. Lepa takes it down the left wing boards for the Force. Now Davitella's play goes to the corner. He's hauled down and taken there by Dubuque. Loose puck as Davitella down trying to get free, and they finally do as the Fargo fans on that end of the ice screaming for a penalty. They haven't called much tonight, so they're not going to call that. Here's Bozer. That one fired in. Raylor to play it. Line change coming for Fargo is the line of Swanson, Parks, and Morrissey out there. There's a loose stick belonging to somebody out there just inside the blue line. Force dump it in. Raylor to play it. And a 3-2 Fargo lead. Pass connects. Here comes Colin Frank. Giuliani down the left wing boards. There's Frank centering feed. It's loose at the edge of the crease. Swept aside by Fargo, but not out. Seamus Powell keeps it in. Shot blocked right into the body of Gruba. Tries to clear it out, and he does. It hit the top of the glass and stayed in play. Line change for Fargo. At least they'll change up on defense with Newmeyer and Tate Taylor. Pass broken up by Swanson. Second attempt dumped in by the Fighting Saints. Near side with it up the wall. Newmeyer can not clear it out. Jubenville back down the wall that goes for Andrew King. Comes back to the point. Seamus Powell stick handles. D-to-D feed. Jubenville. Jubenville a drive looking for a tip. Wide, missed the net. Swanson clears it out for Fargo. Line change coming as Swanson heads out. Swoboda was already out to start that change for Fargo. 5 minutes into this third period. Still 3-2 Force game 2 of the Clark Cup Finals from Shields Arena. Swoboda dumps it in. Fargo changing up their deep pairing. Loose puck as an open net in front, but carried out by the Fighting Saints. Barron dumps it in. Dump and chase. Lukinski out of the cage. There's an open net. They try to find it. Shot blocked by Swoboda. Recovering back quickly. Poked away by Swoboda. He heads out. Loose puck. Now for Plant. Plant down the left wing boards. Past St. Louis. Sharp angle shot. Save made by Raylor. Tried to find the rebound, but couldn't find an angle to get to it. Fargo maintains the zone. Lastarza rings it around. Raylor out of the cage. Plant trying to get to that loose puck. Swept aside by Caleb Dick. He went out behind his goal to get that loose puck. Dumped in by the Fighting Saints. 14-12 to go in the third. 3-2 Fargo. Here comes Dubuque. Pass off the back of the net. Carried out by Brazen Bozer for Fargo. Tom Lepa. Lepa lead feed. Sonari will try and get to it. He's the first one to the puck at the end boards. Play comes to the near corner for Davitella. Puck battle near sidewall. As Cornforth there for Dubuque. Lepa. Davitella off his skate. Lepa comes in to pick it up. Works his way back towards the blue line. And the backhanded attempt goes out of play. About 5 or 6 rows up in section 111 in the corner. And with that, immediate stoppage. 13:45 to go in the third. Both teams with some scoring chances as Dubuque putting some pressure on Slukinski. And Raylor stopping Max Swanson on a clean attempted point-blank range. Still 3-2 Fargo back in 60 seconds on 104.7 FM KFGO and FloHockey. Davitella for Fargo. Finding Tate Taylor, and Taylor dumps it in. 13:25 to go in the third. Game 2, Fargo with a 1-0 lead in the series. A 3-2 lead in Game 2. Sondriel for Noah Powell. Sondriel spins, trying to spin and shoot all in one motion. Gruba maybe lost an edge, may have had some help. Yeah, he did. It's a penalty call against Dubuque. He may have lost an edge. No, he got tripped up. James Reeder will go into the bin. Fargo will go to the power play for the second time tonight. I believe it'll be a trip. It's at 6:48 of the third. And it is a tripping call on James Reeder. So Fargo, a power play, 6:48. I'm going to see it right there. Just clipped him on the ankle. Not a lot, but enough. So Fargo 0 for 3 in the Clark Cup Finals in the man advantage. And again, Dubuque has not given up a power play goal here in the postseason. 13 for 13 on the kill. Actually, 14 of 14 now. Shot, puck came back to Parks in front and slid it just wide, missed the net, and Dubuque clears it all the way down. 7 minutes into this third period, Fargo clinging to a 3-2 lead. Down 1-0 early. We were tied at 2. Leo Gruba's goal as it stands right now would be the game winner. Over skating at Plant, and it's cleared all the way down. That time by Eric Paulson. He'll change up on the penalty kill. Sondriel out there along with Noah Powell. Visinen out there and Fisher Scott. Backhanded by Michael Quinn. Play and the puck goes to the near corner. Noah Powell trying to ring it around. Parks will get there first for Fargo. Reverses field to the corner for Gruba. Parks works his way through the left circle. Feed for Swanson. Works his way right circle. Pass not clean for Plant. He retrieves it back to the point for Michael Quinn. Quinn now Plant. Right circle stick handles. Quinn throws it on net. Save. Rebound comes back to Plant right circle. Feed. Find Gruba. Couldn't get it cleanly left circle. Plays it off the boards. Circles around left circle. Now for Quinn. Quinn back up high comes Gruba. Gruba in front down low. Park shot save made. Rebound and score! Second of the postseason for Lee Parks. Dubuque gives up their first power play goal of the postseason. 4-2 Force. The rebound came right back to Parks, and he knew what to do with it. Pass Radler, and Fargo has a 2-goal lead with 11:59 to play. 6th power play goal of the postseason for Fargo. And now a 4-2 edge for the Force. Here's Bozer. Bozer dumped in. Now for Seamus Powell. Moves puck back to neutral ice as loose taken there by Taylor for Davitella. Davitella from the blue line fires it in. Get the remainder of the scoring here in just a second. As now critical mass time for the Fighting Saints. Pekarczyk will play it in the corner. Now back behind the net, centering feed. Taylor tried to clear it out and whiffed. Comes to the near side as Stenari to play it. Now back at Hendrickson. Taylor comes away with the loose puck. On the right side he goes, flips it to neutral ice. Jubenville back to play it. Now Hendrickson catching at the blue line. Powell in for Paulson, got tied up by Michael Newmeyer. Carrying it out with a full head of steam comes Swoboda. Tried to take off with it, lost the puck in the process. It's loose between the benches. Bozer finds Newmeyer. Newmeyer across the line. 11 minutes to play. It's a 2-goal lead at 4-2 Fargo. Here's Morrissey to the near corner. He's tied up with Malbuff. Back up the wall as Quinn throws it to the slot and carried out. Here comes Charlie Aaron. Aaron between two skaters and he scores. What a move by Charlie Aaron, and it's a 1-goal game again. Split two skaters and looked like he went to the backhand and up top. It's 4-3. Charlie Aaron, his first goal of the postseason. What a move. That one at 9:17, so just over a minute 16 after the power play goal from Parks, and just like that, 4-3, and Dubuque cuts it to a goal. So let's get you reset on the scoring here if we get an opportunity. So Fargo got 2 goals 30 seconds apart, and those two, it was Parks from Quinn and Gruba on the power play goal. Puck go to the near corner as a collision there with Parks. And one of the Dubuque skaters slow to get up. Now he pops back up. I believe that was Lucas St. Louis. Gruba. Down the left wing boards, Gruba overskates it. Lepa trying to come away with the puck battle as Lepa play goes to the corner. He'll be forced over the corner by Malva, pins him to the glass. 2 skaters each way. That'll allow Fargo to start up in a partial change. Quinn, Bolzer, and Davatella, 3 fresh skaters out there for the Force. Puck comes free, and Davatella just off the bench with it. Now to the corner now, Quinn. Quinn at the point, Swanson. Quinn plays it off the boards and will send it in deep. Rings around to the far side. Now Swanson at the end of his shift. Davatella takes a hit from Malva. And here comes Dubuque, 3-on-3. Fighting Saints who cut it to a goal, 4-3 Fargo. King down the left wing boards. Checked by Quinn. Back up the wall. Scott trying to play it. Shot. Bouncing shot. And save made by Slukinski. Back to neutral ice. 9:28 to play. Here comes Dubuque again. Backhanded in by Hendrickson. Quinn off the inboards. D-to-D feed for Bolzer as Quinn takes a hit. Courtesy of Eric Paulson, it looked like. And it was Paulson. Here's Paulson across the line with it. Try to drop feed. Brakarczyk trying to get the feed and wasn't clean from the left circle. Here's Newmeyer. Brings around to the far side. So it comes out for Väisänen. Väisänen shot. Missed the net. Comes to the near side. Bolzer trying to carry it out. Plant tied up with Hendrickson. Loose puck in front of the Fargo bench. Carried in by Beckett Hendrickson. Taken back by Swoboda. Came in. Swiped it from behind. Flipped in. Here's Lestarza. Lestarza dumps it in. Plant and Swoboda out there. Play comes back up the wall. Taken by Sondriel for the Fighting Saints. Stretch pass intercepted. And fired back in from the red line by Michael Newmeyer. 8.5 minutes to go. 4-3 Force in the third period. Game 2 of this Clark Cup final with Sondriel. Sondriel comes across the line. Noah Powell couldn't handle it cleanly. Checked by Lestarza. Lestarza trying to jab that puck free. It comes loose. And Parks will carry it out for Fargo. Lee Parks trying to dump it in. Got denied there by Reeder. Parks gets it back. Got pushed from behind. Quickly pops back up. Swanson trying to jab the puck free. Now here's a feed. Could be a 2-on-1. Noah Powell broke it up. Great play, Tate Taylor. Now Seamus Powell picks it up. Here's Noah Powell, right circle. Loose in front. Cleared out by Fargo. Cleared out by Morrissey. But Tate Taylor had potential for a 2-on-1. And he was able to put a halt to it. Seamus Powell backhanded in. Loose puck, Swanson after it. 7:45 to go in the third. Davatella, loose puck, lost his stick. Quickly picks up the lumber. Play over to the corner with it as Swanson gets tied up with Jubenville. Finally comes free. Now Swanson gets it back. Lepa shot. He scores! Max Swanson got free. Found Lepa, who scores from the left circle. Second of the night for Lepa at 12:31. Back to a 2-goal lead. 5-3 Fargo. Swanson finally got free from the Dubuque defender. Got to the loose puck. And found Lepa, who was ready. Max listed at 5'7", 168, but boy, is he a tough son of a gun. 12:31, back to the dreaded 2-goal lead for Fargo at 5-3. And Lepa, knocked out of the game early last night, has come back with a vengeance and has been huge. So Lepa from Swanson, we'll see if there's a second assist on that as well. We've been a little tardy in our duties here to get you all the scoring. So second for Lepa, 5-3 Fargo, and again, Shields Arena has come to life. What an atmosphere it has been throughout this postseason. Here's Aaron. Aaron to cross the line, loose. So now a 2-goal lead, still 7 minutes left, and this Dubuque team is an offensive juggernaut. Cornforth in the corner. Play back out as he faces up. And now we'll find Charlie Aaron. Puck broken up by Morrissey. Comes back to Aaron in the corner for Cornforth. Centering feed broken up. Karams back to the point. So it comes back to Väisänen. The shot right circle looking for a tip was Barron at the side of the net. Newmeyer tied up over there with Charlie Aaron. Puck comes free. Stenari carries it out for Fargo. 6:35 left. Stenari gets upended. Here's Aaron back to the blue line. Newmeyer And it's sent it back as it comes free now. Swoboda down the left wing board. Swoboda into the forehand shot, kicked aside by Radler. Boy, a nice move cutting in at a sharp angle and ended up right on the doorstep. 6:17 to go. Back to neutral ice. Bozer trying to keep it in and can't. Offside the call. Just needed one more skate to stay in there. The Fargo fans don't like it, but it's the right call. Timeout of the ice. 6:14 to play. And Fargo back to a 2-goal lead. Force 5, Fighting Saints 3 in Game 2 of the Clark Cup Finals. We're back in 60 seconds on FloHockey and 104.7 KFGO FM. There you hear that goal from Tom Leppa. The scoring, let's go back to the power play goal. Lee Parks from Michael Quinn and Leo Gruba made it 4-2. And then the pretty move by Charlie Aaron between two Fargo defensemen. Aaron from Seamus Powell at 9:17 made it 4-3. Leppa from Swanson and Reed Davatella, second of the night for Leppa, his fourth of the playoffs. And it's 5-3 Fargo, 6:10 to play. Puck dumped in as to freeze it Hampton Slukinski. Shots on goal, 31-27 in favor of Dubuque. So 22 saves for Radler and 28 for Hampton Slukinski. Still 6:07 left, probably early, a little too early to maybe start thinking about pulling Radler. They pulled him with about 2:40 to go in the one-goal game. Fargo got an empty netter. I think probably a little too early to pull the pin on that. Off the face-off, here's Bozer. We saw Sioux City pull their goaltender, but they were down 3 in an elimination game with 7 minutes left. Probably not at that desperation yet, as Callum Dick fanned in his attempt to take a shot and carried out there by Stenari. 3-on-3 Fargo with Leppa. Leppa down the left wing boards. Oh, he takes a hit. Able to finish off that check. Nicely done by Caleb Dick. Loose puck. Sondrel tried to sweep it free. It's loose in the end boards. Fargo trying to set up the forecheck as Gruba plays it back in neutral ice. So now a 2-goal lead. You're in a mode where you can try and, if you can, play keep away. Keep it away from the middle of the ice. Boy, we said that so many times. Here's Swoboda. Back for Gruba. And again, Fargo, yeah, if you can get one, great. But if you possess the puck, Dubuque can't. Cornforth as Sondrel overskates it just a hair as here's Cornforth. Cornforth down the left wing boards. It's 1-on-4. He's forced and taken off the play expertly by Leo Gruba. Loose Newmeyer to play it. 5 minutes remaining. It's 5-3 Force. Has to center. Stretch pass out of the reach of Swoboda. He'll head out. Davatella comes in as back behind the net. Slukinski trying to clear it out. Puck to the corner. As over there for the Fighting Saints, cleared out by Fargo. As over there was Pekarczyk. Loose puck, Davatella in the Fargo offensive zone as they complete the line change. Davatella keeps the puck in the offensive zone of the corner, tied up with Visinen. Davatella comes free with it. Davatella cross ice intercepted. Here's a breakaway chance. Pekarczyk in on Slukinski. Shot and saved by Hampton. Just got a piece of it high and just above the crossbar on the breakaway, and Oh boy, here's a shot blocked by Taylor. They keep the pressure on. Another shot fired wide. Here's Scott. Comes back to the point. Scott gets it back down low. Bad angle shot off the back of the net. Lappa with the check on Scott. Play goes to the far corner. 4 minutes remaining. Pass broken up, spinning. Hendrickson trying to put a shot on goal. Couldn't do so. Stenari cleared, but not out. Stenari with a nice check. As they wanted to pull the goaltender Radler, he got out a few feet, but Fargo got that loose puck and fired it all the way down. Line change. We'll keep an eye on Radler. Dumped in deep. 3:40 left. 5-3 Fargo. Fargo will clear it all the way down, and icing will be the call. So 3:36 left. Dubuque will get an offensive zone face-off. And as Kevin Radler headed to the bench, he's looking over there. And there he goes. Sixth attacker will be out. Pekarchik and Hampton Slukinski. I'll just say it, that was the biggest save of the night. They get a goal there, and it's 5-4. And things change dramatically. Fighting Saints will take their timeout and will do the same as well. 3:36 remaining in regulation time before 4,378 of our closest friends. Fargo 5, Dubuque 3. We're back in 30 seconds on FloHockey and 104.7 FM KFGO. All right, come back after this. Five-3 in favor of the Force. Radler has been pulled, so 6-on-5. With 3:36 to go. Sondriel on the draw. Loose puck comes out, Visiden. Now Pekarchik. Down low. Nearly played with a high stick by Reeder. His play goes back behind the net. Taken there, Michael Barron. Barron gets it back in the corner. Comes back to the point, Visiden. Got Pekarchik out at the blue line. Cleared out by Fargo. Is fanning on his attempt with Svoboda. Down to his knees with Swanson. And that empty net was like a flashing light. And boy, Svoboda went down, so did Swanson. Loose puck, Svoboda. Now here's Morrissey. Morrissey at center. Comes wide. Swanson, Svoboda, and just missed it. Broken up with the last instant. Here's Morrissey. 2:50 left, still 5-3. Sondriel at center. Missed by about a foot. St. Louis now to the corner with it. Taylor. Bouncing puck. Brings around to the near side. Pekarchik has it. Pekarchik, puck comes free. Visiden into the slot. Fires a shot. Blocked. Taylor got a piece of it. Cleared but not out. Pekarchik's pass. Loose. Now Sondriel in front. Battled away by Taylor. Swanson trying to get to it. Puck's out of the zone and neutralized. Mack fighting for it and Visiden to play it. 2:18 to play. Empty net. 6-on-5. 5-3 Force. Visiden broke it up by Swanson. He'll head to the bench as Davitella, Leppa out there, and in comes Stenari. Here's Paulson. Poke check free. Taken there by Davitella. Leppa started at first. Seamus Powell. 2 minutes to play here in game 2. Here's Seamus Powell. Loose puck. Pop free by Bozer. Play goes to the corner and Paulson. Bozer. Boy, if they've gotten maybe one shot with the man, or 6-on-5 with the goalie pulled, it hasn't been a lot. Maybe one, maybe two. Wraparound attempt by Hendrickson trying to stuff it free. Puck comes free to the right circle. Here's Seamus Powell with it. Centering feed off the back of Hendrickson's skates. Stenari backhands it out and all the way down. 1:28 to play. Fargo will start up in a change. Newmeyer, Morrissey, and Svoboda. Stenari takes a hit on Scott. Here's Paulson. 1:20 left. 5-3 Fargo in game 2. nearly overskating it. The puck dumped in. That time by Cornforth. Moves puck to the corner and Newmeyer. Newmeyer pokes it through the legs of Cornforth. Back up the wall near side of the point. Seamus Powell. 1:03 to play. There's a shot fired wide. Missed the net. Comes here to the near side. Under a minute to go. Swanson. The puck comes free to neutral ice and all the way down. Shields Arena slowly coming up to its feet. Seamus Powell, 48 seconds to play. Line change for the Fighting Saints. Carrying it in is Reeder. Bouncing puck, pushed aside of the corner by Bozer. Here's Davatella. Davatella gets free as Swanson with him. Davatella for Swanson. Swanson stick handles and scores! For the second straight night, an empty netter for Max Swanson. And that'll put this baby on ice. 6-3 Fargo. That time Davatella set up Max Swanson. 19-28. The empty netter from Swanson, and Fargo about ready to check box number 2. And a 2-0 lead. And finally getting a Game 2 win in a 5-game series. The Swanson, Reed Davatella should get an assist on that. And Davatella's had himself a nice series. 25 seconds left. Here come the Fighting Saints with it. Puck off a couple of skates. Tom Leppa clears it out. Swanson on the empty netter as the final seconds tick away, and I don't think there's anybody that's not sitting down here at Shields Arena. Final seconds ticking away on this one. 6-3 Fargo. Puck cleared the length of the ice. Final seconds tick away. Fargo has a 2-0 lead. One step closer to a Clark Cup championship, and Fargo wins it 6-3. Fargo had an answer every time tonight. The scoring on the final goal, he did add a second assist on the empty netter. Swanson is 5th of the postseason, so Mac, we had 2-point night for him. He assisted him on earlier. Swanson from Davatella and Brazen Bozer at 19-28, and Fargo has a 2-0 lead as the teams will head to Iowa starting Friday night. So Fargo will have at least 2 chances to clinch it in Dubuque. And meantime, for the Fighting Saints, the backs are now against the wall. They will have to come out probably as a desperate hockey team Friday night at home. So Fargo, who won on the road, shut them out back in October, needs just 1 win for their 2nd Clark Cup championship. So they break the Game 2 bugaboo. Their first win in a 5-game series in Game 2 since the 2018 Western Conference Final in Fargo. So we'll get to the final, get to the 3 stars of the game here. First off, as Leo Gruba is our number 3 star of the evening. So Leo Gruba, who had the eventual game-winning goal. 1 goal tonight. And Reed Davatella had himself a night as well for the Fargo Force. As Davatella, 3 assists tonight for Reed Davatella, and our number 1 star of the night. Shake it up last night, came back, and boy was he huge. Tom Leppa. Make it 4 assists tonight for Reed Davatella as he assisted on the La Starza goal, the first goal of the night for Fargo. He also had, it should be 3 assists. They had 4 on the board for him. We'll update the stat sheet here. As Davatella, I had him for 3 assists tonight, as he was one of those 3 stars of the evening. So let's update the score sheet. Gruba, a goal and an assist. They have 4 assists for Reed Davitella, so we'll have to check on that. But Fargo wins at 6-3 in the final. 2-0 is the lead for Fargo in this best of 5 series. Check another box, 2 in favor of the Western Conference champs. Post-game report next. Force win at 6-3. 2-0 lead in this best of 5 Clark Cup finals. We're back with the post-game report. We'll do so in 2 minutes on FloHockey and 104.7 KFGO FM. With the empty netter to seal it. Yeah, Reed Davitella was 4 assists as he assisted on the 2 first period goals, and the second assist on the La Starza goal. Had the first assist on Tom Leppa's goal, which gave Fargo a 2-1 lead. He also had assists on the Tom Leppa goal in the third, and that empty netter from Max Swanson. A 4-assist night for Reed Davitella. And tell you, that line, and I will throw, well, you can throw kind of Hakkarainen in that mix as well, but Stenari, Leppa, and Davitella. 2 goals for Leppa, 4 assists for Davitella. And we've talked about it and almost ad nauseum. You're probably sick of Pat and I talking about it over the course of the season. But the depth of this team for Fargo in that line. And Tom Leppa took a pretty healthy hit last night, which led to a suspension for Teddy Merrill. He came out, and boy, and maybe some adrenaline, whatever the case was, he came out and was huge tonight, and Fargo comes away with a 6-3 victory. So a 2-0 lead in the series. Fargo now 1 win away. The last one's the toughest to get. Then they'll have a chance, maybe 2 opportunities to try and win it on the road. They do have Game 5 in their pocket, but I think they would prefer to have this be the final home game. I'm sure that a chance to finish it sooner the better, but we'll see. Dubuque's too good a hockey team to roll over, and you know there's going to be a pretty inspired effort when they head back home on Friday. Scoring in the third period, it was a 3-2 Fargo lead as we started the third period. Fargo went to the power play and took advantage. The first time that Dubuque's been scored on the man advantage here in the postseason. Lee Parks rebounding his own shot for a goal. It was Parks from Leo Gruba and Michael Quinn. Parks gets his second of the postseason. Leo Gruba ends up with a 2.9, a goal and an assist. Michael Quinn, his 5th assist of the postseason, came at 8:01 of the third and gave Fargo a 4-2 lead. But Dubuque responded on a great move from Charlie Arend as he split a pair of Fargo defenders in the slot and flipped one up top over the shoulder of Slukinski. A minute and 16 seconds later at 9:17 of the third, Arend from Seamus Powell made it 4-3. And then Fargo got it back on a kind of a scrum over in the far corner. Max Swanson was trying to get free from one of the Dubuque defensemen, found Leppa, who was waiting in the left circle, and went to the forehand and scored. Leppa from Swanson and Reed Davitella. And again, Max Swanson's 5'7", 168 pounds. He's a tough son of a gun as he came through with that assist there. That made it 5-3, and then so Max Swanson had a goal and 2 assists tonight for the Fargo Force. As let's check the final numbers here. As for Swanson, was a goal and 2 assists tonight for Mac, and seals it with the empty netter with 19:28 into the third. Swanson from Davitella and Brazen Bozer, and a 6-3 Fargo win. Shots on goal 11-10 in favor of Dubuque in the third period. Final total 33-29 in favor of the Fighting Saints. So despite getting outshot, Fargo with 6 goals and 1 an empty netter. As the final numbers as far as goalie saves, 23 for Kevin Riedler as he was pulled with a little over 3.5 minutes to play. Hampton Slukinski, 30 saves, and that might be his high in the postseason. I'll try and do a little investigative research, and yes, 30 is his top save number in the postseason as he moves now to 8-2 in the playoffs. Riedler, the loss in net, now 6-3 in the postseason. So Fargo wins at 6-3. Davitella with 4 assists tonight. You have to dig through the record books. That's got to be right up there for Reed Davitella. You have goal and an assist from Gruba. 2 goals from Tom Leppa. 3.9 for Swanson, a goal and 2 assists for the Fighting Saints. They get a goal and an assist from Juraj Pekarchik. So he had the first goal of the game at 6:18 of the first. 2 assists for Seamus Powell, Charlie Arend, and Beckett Hendrickson as well with goals for the Fighting Saints. 6-3, the final score. One final break. We'll put a bow on this one and get you ready for Game 3 as the series moves to Dubuque next weekend. Fargo 6, Dubuque 3. The Force of a 2-0 lead in this Clark Cup Finals. We'll wrap it up after this on 104.7 KFG. 4,378 of our closest friends and acquaintances here at Shields Arena, as both crowds over 4,300, and the home crowd not disappointed. Fargo wins it by a final of 6-3 as Force take a 2-0 lead, and well, we'll see if this is the final home game. Dubuque has something to say about that. Game 3 moves to Dubuque on Friday evening, 7:05, with a 6:45 pregame right here on 104.7 KFGO FM and on FloHockey as well, as Fargo will have a chance to clinch it. We shall see about that, as the Fighting Saints, I say, will probably be a desperate team. If there is a Game 4, 7:05 a week from tonight. Don't forget about the watch parties at the High Point Bar and Grill inside of Shields Arena. They'll open the doors at 6:30 if you want to watch the game. There might be a few people headed down to Dubuque that might try and see if they can watch Fargo clinch a championship. We'll see about that. But Game 3 on Friday night, Game 4 if needed on Saturday, and if it goes the distance, it'll be on the 21st, a Tuesday night here at Shields Arena. So a heck of a night, great atmosphere. Fargo had a response every time, Dubuque. And really, I don't see the game change, but it certainly momentum flipped in Fargo's favor. 2 goals late in the first period in the span of 30 seconds from Listarza and Lepa made it 2-1. Fargo never trailed from that point. Hendrickson came back to tie it, but the goal late in the second from Gruba made it 3-2. Power play goal from Parks was huge, and after Aaron responded on the prettiest goal of the Clark Cup Finals, Tom Lepa, after Swanson won the puck battle, second for Tom Lepa. Great to see that. After his night was cut short due to injury last night, he came back with authority. Just one of many heroes for this Fargo Force squad. 2-0 lead in the series as Fargo wins it with an empty netter to seal the deal. 6-3, the final score here at Shields Arena. So, coming up next Friday night, you can get a few days to rest and recover and get ready, as Fargo will have a chance for their second Clark Cup Championship, Game 3 against the Fighting Saints in Dubuque Friday night, 6:45 pregame, 7:05 the opening faceoff on FloHockey and 104.7 KFGO FM. Well, thanks to Thomas Fox. Great jobs back at our studios. Midwest Radio, Fargo Moorhead. Thanks to the crew here at Shields Arena. Great job throughout as always, and thanks to you for making us a part of your Saturday night. It didn't disappoint, did it? Another great night of hockey here at Shields Arena. Final score, Fargo 6, Dubuque 3. It's a 2-0 lead in this best of 5 championship series from Shields Arena. I'm Brad Anderson. So long. Have a great weekend.